How you doing? We're live. Good evening, folks. Friday, how you doing? I'll say hello. Thanks for waiting as well. It was going to be 8, but it's been one of them days, and I've needed some mid-afternoon rest. James, how you doing? Spiky, Claire, John. Yes, we are, James. Steph, how you doing? Dave Archibald. There's another stunt being organised here. You'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Leah, good evening, Leah. Or good afternoon. Pegasus, how you doing? Respect back to you, mate. Daddy Orca, how you doing, me old timber? Up the cherries. I think that's it for now. So thanks for hanging on, DJ Heaven Harmony. Happy Friday to you, mate. Same back. Thanks so much. I'm a bit tired today, so bear with me. Mr. Ryan R.
Yes, Dino. How's you been?
All right.
Dino.
Do you want to turn your mic up?
My mic is up. Can you hear me? I'm not closer to it. Can you hear me now?
Hang on.
Yeah. It is up. My mic is.
That's all right. I've got it. Got it. It was mine.
Yeah. How have you been lately, Dino?
All right.
How have you been?
All right. Yeah. Not too bad.
Just things, innit? Shit going on, innit? Too much, innit, Dino? Fucking last week I was a couple of weeks ago. I was up in a place near you know where Old Trafford Cricket Ground is, the police station up there. It's a plucking. Wait a minute, dogs. Wait a minute, Dean. Wait a minute, Dino. Yeah, Dino. It's like a place that I was near Old Trafford Met Stop, and I got caught. Not caught. It was just I had a stolen pet down there. The police was like, "Oh, don't record me, don't do that." I'm like, "Hang on, I can record you all I like. It's a public place." Because she was new on the job, she was, and she was like, "Oh, don't record me, don't record me." I said, "How long have you been on the job for?" And she said, "Oh, I've only been on the job for 2 weeks." I was like, 2 weeks? You've been on the job for 2 weeks? I was like, but then the bloke said, "You can do what you want. You can record in a public place all you like." I was like, "I'm doing what I want." And getting in my face, she was. I said, "Oh, handcuff him now." I was like, "Handcuff me, stick him in the back of the van." I was like, "What am I doing? I'm doing nothing in the public place." Do you know where Old Trafford Met Stop is? Old Trafford Met Stop is where the old Met park's up there. On that road there, it got stolen a moped. I was riding past me back on my push bike, and they were like, "Oh, you've done that." They thought it was me. I said, "Hang on, the lads ran down there, not to me. Ran up there, and then one lad. Yeah, they thought it was me. I was like, "It's nothing to do with me. I'm just going to the bloody shop down the road."
Did you film it? Did you say? Did you film it all?
Filmed it all.
All right. Right. Are you putting that up or?
I was going to put it up, but the sound didn't work. The sound, I've recorded it, but the sound didn't pick up.
Keep hold of it. Keep hold of it. Someone might be able to help you out with that. But I just want to say hello to Local, who's in the. Good evening, and Chris Brown. Kat, how you doing?
Dino, I could send it to you, Dino, that video.
You can send it, mate. Send it to me.
Got the same number, Dino? Same number?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could send it to you.
Just send it me on WhatsApp.
Yeah, Dino, you know that time when I was having a joke that time. I was sorry about that time around. I weren't taking.
Forget it. Yeah, forget about all that now. I know who's who and what's what and things like that. So we'll forget about that, Tyrone. Yeah. And we'll move on there. But I only hang around. In my world, you where you hang around with in life. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Kat, good evening.
Tyrone's my middle name. My first name's Ryan. That's my first name. That was my middle name I was using, Tyrone. My first name's Ryan.
No worries, Ryan. If I can just carry on talking for a minute while a few more people have come in. I know my mods are in there, so if someone can just get rid of David Icke, please. Ben Cox, how you doing, mate? You can jump on in a bit if you want. Brit Nordics GB, how you doing? And I think there's a few more people who've come in as well. DJ Heaven as well. And Ian, thanks, mate. I've just seen you, Ian, in the thumbs up too as well, mate. Thanks. So Ben, if you do want to jump on later on, whenever, and have a chat, it's up to you. But as usual, no drama. Even when the trolls, like there's one in there now, Robin Teabag, just get rid of them straight away, and then we'll not even bother talking about it, and we'll just crack on like we do. It seems to work, doesn't it? When you ignore people like that. How you doing, Biker? Yeah, just get rid of them, guys. No problem. Zap, gone. Father Christmas. Ban Mr. Ryan, he's only 14. I don't have to ban him because he's 14. So good evening, and Susie as well. How's Indy? How's Indy doing? Sort of. Right. So yeah, we'll just have a nice easy chat if you want, mate. There's no one else backstage, so Tyrone. Oh, he's muted. Muted himself. How you doing, Ian? I've seen that scarf, mate. I've seen a picture of it. Well, that we all have on that video. Right. So Fluke will be coming on later, guys, as well at some point. I don't know what time. It's been a late start. Normally he comes on 9:30, 10ish, so it could be a little bit later on after Bike has been on that. Speak of the devil, just as I said it. Good evening, mate. How are you? Miss Emma, good evening. Are you there, Biker?
Evening. Yeah, is he still there?
I can hear you now.
I was just on Chico, not Lift. I can't think his name's called, the other one. No, one with the Blackbeard, Marty. I was just on Marty's live just a minute ago. He's on the live chat. Yeah, he's on the live stream now. Yeah. I just come off it. It was alright, channel. Just like, okay. No, it was alright. And it's just like, just getting to you packed loads of people and you're talking, you're like, you can't even hear. So everyone's like that, and everyone's in like that, like,
Yeah.
And yours is more, on your channel, it's more quieter. Like,
It can get a bit hectic, can't it? Sometimes if there's too many people on talking over, and do you know what I mean? Some subjects you get that anyway, don't you? Because depending what you're talking about, it could get a bit intense and that. But
did you hear about that?
Good evening, mate. So Ryan, if I keep doing that, I'm sorry, mate. It's just when people come in and I just want to say hello, that's all. But carry on, mate. Shillits and Miss Emma, good evening.
Did you hear about that person, that lad on 4 News it was, and he murdered his 3-year-old kid and his wife? It was up in Preston, I think it was, when he murdered his, was it Preston? I can't think it's called. That lad. And then he took his own life for killing his wife. He killed his wife and his kids, and he took his own life at the same time. It was on the news before. Was it Preston?
About that in Plymouth.
That's what I was thinking of. Plymouth. Yeah, Plymouth. Right, yeah, I heard about that. A 3-year-old, and exactly what you've just said about that. And I saw a picture of him as well, but I didn't want to read much further than kind of the headline and what he'd done and who to. That kind of thing is very upsetting for me.
Somewhat not right with him, is it? Why do that? And that you took an innocent kid's life on. She's not even had a life. She's only had 3 years. 3 years probably. Stupid, isn't he? Something not normal.
Shocking, that. Horrible. Not nice. Not
You know,
nice
it's
at
good
all.
what he did, but he's just took himself out the easy way. He shot himself, took himself out the easy way. He should have been punished, not shoot himself. Should have been punished in fucking prison, shouldn't he? Life. But
Well,
mad.
a lot of people would definitely have it that way, mate, for sure. Because, like you said, they're not suffering for what they've done, and for me, they should do. You know, I don't mean physically, really. I mean, you
I
know,
was thinking he should have been punished. Yeah. I was thinking that, but he should have been punished himself in prison, not shoot yourself, took yourself out the easy route. You know.
yeah, the easy route and it, the coward's way out, as they say. But you
If
know,
I knew where, if I knew where his grave was, I would have piss on it. I would. If I knew where it was.
well,
Oh no, shit
let's
on it.
just be
I'd be
glad
like,
just be glad they're gone and they can't do any more harm, I suppose. So, Indy, how you doing, you trog? You
Hey, up,
trog
Ian,
it
how
out.
you doing?
That's how he talks. Have you heard him talk, Ryan?
yeah.
Independent Free Press. He's a fat bastard.
Piss on it. I
Isn't
would.
that right, Susie? Trog. Someone else has come in. I've got rid of a couple of idiots, by the way. I've not seen them back. Cat, I don't know if you're still in there. You can jump on if you want and have a chat.
Cat's
A
been
chat
banning.
This get
Cat's been banning people, mate. She's still there.
I don't know who this is backstage. Auditor for auditor, mate. You're not coming on. Verto and Kimball. This is a weird name. Yeah, I think you're the crying guy. But let's have a bit of fun, maybe. I could be wrong.
Hello there, hello. Who's
I'm wrong.
No, it's not me, man.
Sorry, mate.
How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't think I've spoken to you before, have I?
Good stuff, man. No, I've seen your videos, though. I like it. I like it.
All right. Cheers. Thanks, mate.
I like the one where you go in the market and the guy's fucking hassling you and all that.
The Wigan one, or the Bury.
Was it Camden Market?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
You know.
Nice one, man. Nice one.
Cheers. Yeah. You were a right prat. He come out with his phone, started live streaming us on Facebook.
I know.
Honestly, it serves him right anyway. He's had a few thousand views on that now, and
you made him famous.
There's always one, isn't there?
You made him famous.
Oh yeah, Dino, would you be able to do that on Trafford Town Hall? Would you be able to still? I asked you previous time. I've asked you previous time to do it.
Are you on about that particular police station?
The Trafford Town Hall next door to it, the police station.
Oh right, yeah. I'll eventually, mate. I'll get around to. If you've got any stories to tell me about it, then tell me about it, and then I can go there with something, if you know what I mean. But be patient with me, right?
I'll tell you.
You've not half-assed me, mate.
I'll tell you in person.
Yeah, no worries. We'll sort that out, okay? How are you doing, Claire? Crying guy's backstage. Shall I bring him on? In fact, let me bring. How many we got? 4. I've got room for 2 more.
Bring him on.
Let me bring. I think this is Decker.
Bring him on, man. Bring him on.
I will. Right. So, see, I got you mixed up, Kimball. You see, I thought you were the crying guy, but that was him under the name of Decker. You see, you never know who he is and what he looks like. So,
okay, what is he? A troll or something?
He's just a drama queen, really. He does no harm. He just comes on crying, saying how much he loves me and stuff like that. But we never get anywhere. So the wedding's off, so to speak. I'll put this guy on. He's under the name of Crying Guy.
So what's the topic tonight?
I just think
you
it's
know, but I love you. I
troglodyte.
want to have my baby. You dickhead.
Hey, up Indy, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, froggy
It was
bastard.
him. He showed his face before he put his thing on. Yeah, you ugly bastard.
Look who's talking, you fucking spring bean.
Yeah, well, I can admit it, mate. You can't. You
I
won't.
can, mate, I can.
You refuse. You look in that mirror and you go, "Oh, I'm so gorgeous. Look at me.
I think,
I'm
what an
so
ugly
beautiful."
bastard.
You're missing me though, mate, aren't you? I'm definitely
Funny.
missing you.
Oh,
I'm
fuck off,
pleased.
I'm not missing you. At least I'm getting some sleep at night time now.
You could sleep for England, mate. It goes to bed about 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's only when... You cheeky bastard.
Yeah. I'm there till 4, 5 a.m. He's snoring away.
Too right, mate. Got to recharge my
And
batteries.
then I've had 2 hours
How's
sleep
your
and he's
dog?
going up going, Dino, wake up, you drug.
Crying guy, you're from London.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, I know.
How's Sashi, dog?
I noticed the accent, like.
Bitch, come here. Wash off.
So what's the topic tonight, lads?
This thing here.
What usually happens is, I don't know if you've seen a Friday one before, mate.
That's
For the first hour or so, it's usually like when Biker and that comes on, it's all good banter and a light chat, and then a few different people come on. We start talking more serious stuff later on. Do you know what I mean?
Ooh, sounds interesting. Sounds interesting.
There's no fixed topic, but there's normally the same type of topics keep coming up each week. Let me just get rid of this idiot.
Let me guess. COVID.
Like Dino, if I go quiet, I'm finding my charger. If I go quiet for a minute, look for my charger. I'm going flat. I'm on 29.
Okay.
I'm going 29%.
Right.
It's
Carlos, how you doing?
I'm gonna mute myself for a minute till I find it.
Mans B, how you doing? You're a bit low at the minute, but we'll support you as long as you can. Thanks, Mans. You always do. There's no harm in having a chat in the chat with people, if that makes you feel better.
Okay, let's see the chat.
Or asking questions or anything, Mans, but I hope you're okay. So, Visual, how you doing? I am alive, only just after what I've been put through this last couple of days.
Why? What's happening?
I'm surprised, Dino, I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised you're not in the fucking nut house, mate.
I've actually had to go to sleep this afternoon, something I never do. That's why I've come on late. That's how tired I am.
Must be the effects of 5G, man. The 5G.
What do I think of it?
Yeah, maybe it made you feel sleepy, like.
That could be one thing, yeah. But I hardly sleep anyway.
Yeah, Dino, we've got some good fans in the chat tonight.
Oh, Bastion's there. How you doing, mate? Rebel 1970, doing Joe Black. Rice and Peas, how you doing? There seems to be loads who jump in at once. David Bradshaw, how you doing? Thank you. So, no rush as always, guys. Jobless Dino's backstage. Somebody called Jobless Dino. I've got a job, mate, whoever you are, whatever you are, or whatever you think you are, or want to be. And Carlos, I've just seen you.
Bring him on, mate. Let's see what he's got to say.
He'll not come on, will he?
If he's backstage, let's see.
Please, Dino.
Fucking hell, man. This is a fucking
You knew
madhouse.
exactly who that was.
This is a fucking madhouse.
It can be at times, mate.
What have I got myself into, man?
Oh, I don't know. You'll be fine.
So what's the crack, guys? What's the crack?
What do you want to talk about?
Anything, man. What music you into?
Have a guess.
Dino likes the bag.
Heavy metal, man. Heavy metal.
No,
A bit of rock, yeah. A bit of rock.
Like a bit of Jimi Hendrix in there, or what? Jimi fucking Hendrix. He's my fucking.
No.
He's a legend, man.
he likes ABBA.
ABBA.
Yeah, he's into ABBA, mate.
all along.
I don't mind. I don't mind a bit of ABBA.
Yeah.
Who are you into?
I'm into all sorts, man. Jimi Hendrix, from Jimi Hendrix to classical music, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for real, mate.
Where are you from?
I'm from London.
All right. I want to recognise that accent as
Oh,
being
but
from.
I've lived everywhere, me. You know what I mean? I've fucking lived up and down the country, from Birmingham to Liverpool.
So here's a question for you. Are you crinkle?
Am I what?
Crinkle.
What the fuck's that, man?
You tell me, because that's what I'm getting told. As that's who you are.
I'm
Crinkle.
No, I think you've got the wrong guy, mate. I'm Berto and Kimball. That's, you know what I mean? But my name's John, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. What
Paul
the fuck?
Weller, Raymond. Nah, not for me.
Yeah.
Not my Stone Roses.
What about
you know.
Motown and all that? You like the soul stuff, like Otis Redding and Sam
Not
Cooke
really.
and all that? Aretha Franklin. Yeah, I love a bit of
Not
that,
really.
mate. I love a bit of
Indie
that.
does. Yeah.
So what's your favourite band then, Dino?
It's a little known band called Magnum, but there's Rush and AC/DC and Black Sabbath and all them. Deep Purple.
Oh, yeah, I like a bit of that too, man. You know what I mean? I like a bit of
Proper stuff.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. What, even techno music and stuff?
Yep. Jeff Mills, check him out. Robert Hood, people like that. Like the Detroit techno shit. Like there's some soul to that stuff. You know what I mean?
Prodigy, I weren't too keen on Harmony, but I could listen. Indie, sorry mate, did you want to say something?
No, I was just confirming what you said just a minute ago.
Oh,
Confirming what, man?
No, you don't need to know. It's on a need to know basis.
Oh,
It's between me and Dino. Dino knows what I mean.
oh, secrets, man.
Yep, definitely.
Anyway, any prizes for guessing where my name comes from? Nobody noticed straight away though. So I'll give you a £10 PayPal donation if anyone can guess it without even looking on Google.
I've not a clue.
Well, you don't win the 10 quid then.
I'm busy, so I'm not even interested.
How's it going, biker, anyway, mate?
Yeah, all right, mate.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Go on,
Bit of a-
anybody in the chat interested in £10 PayPal?
10 quid, man. 10 quid right now. I'll send it over, man.
Going once, going twice. No one wants it, mate. You might as well put it back in the bank.
Ah, well. It was only
Georgina, I'll put the link up again. Because I think
you
someone
pinned it,
wants to
mate?
come on. So, you want mate?
You pinned it.
Dino, I'm going to jump off for a bit, all right?
Okay. No worries. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm going to repost the link. I think someone wants to jump on.
That's a good accent you got there, Dino. Where you from, man?
LJ Gibb, how you doing? Good evening. Have a guess. I bet you would never guess.
Well, give me a minute and I'll have a guess.
Yorkshire Monkey, how you doing? Crying guy, let me on, Dino. Oh, great picture that one is. Fantastic. Blocked, see ya.
What's happening there, man?
Oh, you just get idiots in the chat, mate. You must know that.
Ah, let them run rampant. It don't matter, does it?
They don't last long.
It's more fun if you just let them go ham in there. I like the chaos.
No, it's not. It's boring.
What did he say anyway? I don't know what he said.
I can't remember now. Yeah, just forget him straight away. I think Spikey's there, actually. It might be Spikey. This is what I mean sometimes.
What about that
Okay.
nutcase on the fucking news, man? The incel. Incel.
Yeah, we just spoke about that earlier. I know.
Please,
Absolutely
please,
disgusting.
make it voiceless.
It would have helped if you didn't have another device on. But
Yeah.
you was echoing. You could have stayed on for an extra 1.2 seconds. But you
1.2
was echoing.
milliseconds.
Yeah, that's all.
Or
He's getting.
nanoseconds. My reactions are that quick, Dino. Nanosecond timing, mate.
Nanoseconds, right. See, I'm not technical.
I'm a pro gamer, you see. So my reactions are nanosecond quick on the mouse.
Just a quick reminder, guys, and I think 99% of you who normally come on know about it, but no drama in the chat, or else you're just gone.
But,
It's as simple as that. I've just one or two things, so just no drama, okay?
Yeah. That's fair
Cockney
play,
John's
that, mate.
got it, man. He's got it.
That Verto.
Yo.
Why did you choose that name?
Well, it goes back a long way, you know what I mean?
Is
So
it? How long?
Cockney John got it. Cockney John's got it.
Yeah, I've got it as well. How long have you had it?
A long time, mate. Long time.
How long's a long time?
Since Evolution went down.
All right.
I thought I'd adopt their name, you know what I mean? Because
Is that what you've done?
I used to go on there and buy fucking drugs all the time, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get some good weed on there, mate. And some nice fucking all sorts of other good stuff, you know, cocaine.
Stuff that we don't talk about on here, mate.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No
But
worries.
yeah, you can source some good commodities, let's say, on there. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's where the name comes from, and people who know, they know, and usually they say, "Whoa, you went on Evolution too." It's like
Fluke is in the house, guys.
It was a
Everyone
journey.
say hello to Fluke. Fluke will be coming on later on at some point. So I have big respect for Fluke Dog, and so does many other people too. And I know recently he's been doing just because it will be coming up later on. He's been doing a lot of research lately on, and he's found out a lot of stuff. And he'll be telling you about that later on, and it's really interesting stuff that we all should be very aware of as well.
Nice one.
So, and Leah, like she does, who works non-stop, she'll be putting links up there, along with a couple of other mods. They all do that every channel's live they go on, who they moderate for. They're just brilliant. So I don't know if you're aware of Leah M, mate, but you should be.
Me?
She's excellent. Excellent.
I'll check it out. Anyone know?
Emma, you doing?
Anyone know my avatar? You get another 10 quid for that. That's the one you can't look up. You have to know. If you know, you know, and you'll win a tenner. By the end of the night, if you can guess who it is, I'll give you a tenner. Straight to your PayPal.
Emma or Miss Susie? Do you mean you obviously you don't mean Miss Emma, do you? Because Miss Emma's modded. So is there another Emma in there?
Oh, SG Media, you got it. I have to send you a tenner. Send me your PayPal. I'll sort
Maria
it out.
Moon, I've just spotted you. Are you Marie? Are you doing? Not today, certain. Are you doing?
Got it quick.
Susie, I'm not sure if you mean somebody different to Miss Emma, but SG, are you doing? Good evening. Who got it right? What was the answer? I missed that.
Who got it right? SG Media Press. Fucking hell, man. It weren't that hard then. Maybe I'll think of something more difficult next week. It's a character from Half-Life 2 video game.
I wouldn't know anything. Indy would talk to you all night about gaming, but nah, it's not my daughter loves it as well, but it's not my thing
Yeah.
at all. Do you want to jump on, Mike? Maybe later when Flute comes on or something. It's up to you, mate. It'd be nice if you did. People love you two guys talking and that. So, but the invitation's always there, as you know. Miss Emma is modded, Susie. Always has been. She's showing up on my chat as mod.
She's showing up as green on mine, mate.
Yeah. Why is Susie not modded?
Do you reckon that?
Susie is. Susie is modded,
Just,
mate. Well, she's showing as modded on mine.
Do you reckon that geezer who shot all these people? Do you reckon that's like some MI5 thing where they kind of set that shit up, get him to do that shit, kill him, and so they can bring in some new laws to lock us all down more?
Why would they do that, mate? That's just pure speculation.
Well, like a false flag thing, you know, the same thing about false flags and all that. Why not get somebody to kill a load of people so they can introduce loads more stringent laws on us all, like, you know what I mean?
Modded.
Mate, I think you're going down the wrong road with that one.
Well,
I think they already did that with 9/11, didn't they?
well, people said that about 7/11 and all, you know, the bombs on the London tubes and all that.
Yeah, but I think what you're talking about in Plymouth, mate, I think you're going way over top of that one.
Well, you reckon he's a lone wolf?
Well, have you read the stories? Have you seen the media?
All I've seen is a video of him on YouTube, like his last post where he's talking about Terminator and all that. And from what I've heard, that incel group, all those incel people, there's a dark streak to that lot where they want to, you know, kill people in real life. But that might just be made up by the government. It might just be put out there just to set him up, like to give an excuse to why he done it. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't comment on anything like that, mate, because I don't have a clue. Only thing I've listened to is the news. He killed his own mother first, and then wiped out the rest of his family and core family, including a little girl. That's it,
yeah.
Mate. And I think to put something like that into a conspiracy theory, mate, I think it's a bit wrong. I really do.
Well, that's what the mainstream media said. You know what I mean? They said.
I don't think they have, mate.
Well, that's
Dejected Tomato, sorry guys. Dejected Tomato, thanks for coming in, mate. Nice one. Miss Emma, you should be modded up. You was. And so was Pegasus. And he's been unmodded as well. And this has happened to me before.
It's YouTube.
It's happened to me before a couple of times. So somebody sent me a message today as well saying, has my account been hacked because of this, that, and the other on one of his videos. So I just put, not as far as I'm aware, but it could just be, you know, a cloned troll or whatever. But whether I've been hacked or not, I don't know. I'm going to bring
you'd know about
SG's
it.
back there, drop dead Pred, so that can't be right. I'm going to bring Ben on because he has been waiting.
Joe Public. Joe Public,
Pardon?
what do you mean by that comment, mate?
What have I missed there, mate?
Joe Public, Eddie only watches the news. What's that mean?
How far back am I going?
I don't know.
That's not Joe Public.
Well, it is, mate, because he's modded.
How many mods you got in there? They all look like, everyone looks like they're a mod.
Oh, he's changed his logo then, that's why.
Yeah, he's just got a J on it now, but it's still modded
Yeah.
there, mate.
Mods
Yeah,
are
and
like
he's not
Rust.
anymore.
I prefer the rockers myself, mate.
Well, if it's not anymore.
Right, you're unmodded, John. I've just said earlier on, right, no drama, okay? We're just not having it.
Yeah, fuck the drama, man.
So just ignore it, okay? Or else I'll just remove you, Joe. See, you know what I mean? I'm not twat.
Joe,
Stay in the chat if you want.
Joe,
talk.
I didn't say I watched the news. I said I saw the news and I heard the news, and that is it. Keep your fucking comments to yourself. Do you know?
Doghouse, you've been in the chat, mate, but is that you?
Please, please.
Right, so that this guy's used about 4 different chat members' names tonight. Let's try this one.
Please.
Oh,
Okay,
man,
that was a
fucking mad
separate,
out
yeah.
here, man.
That's his twin brother or sister.
All right, Eddie.
How you doing, Ben, mate?
Hey,
What
yeah,
have I got myself into, man? What have I got myself into?
Oh, not a lot. You'll be fine.
Right, you find
That's
your
not
finger, Ben?
USG, is it?
Eddie.
It is. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. There were 3 of you back. Well, Ben was there as well, but I bought, and then 3 others, and 1 out of 3 is all right.
That crying man should do auditing. I can imagine him crying at the police officers about everything that they're doing.
The first ever crying audit, yeah, that would be different, wouldn't it?
Just to let you know, Dino, Thingy just been kicked off another channel earlier, just to let you know.
Who has? Sorry.
The guy you had on to begin with.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah, Taiwan or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, he's been kicked off. What, the live stream he was talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't. I was aware beforehand, but shortly beforehand, but I didn't know he'd been kicked off.
Yeah, he got kicked off by Marty. They realised who he was.
And right.
Who got kicked off?
I've got a question for you, Dino.
You're talking about Tyrone, as in Ryan, who came on. Yeah, Ryan's his real name. He said he was on a live. He didn't say he got kicked off.
Yeah, no, he did. I was on with watching Marty earlier, and he got kicked off.
Oh,
They
right.
realised who he was.
Something he said, or
No, people in the chat realised who he was.
so when you said that,
Hey,
In the chat, they realised who he was, and people were letting Marty know who he was, and Marty just kicked him off.
let's have a conversation anyway. Forget about all the chat and all that fucking guessing who's who. I've got a question for you.
well, it's my live, mate, and I'll do it how I want to do it.
Fair
with all
enough. I wanted
respect.
to ask you
Yeah.
a few questions, though. Yeah.
Well, I don't normally do short lives, and there's always loads to come. So a lot of people stay on these lives for
I'll come back
hours.
later, buddy.
You what, Ben? Sorry.
I'll let you go, and I'll come back on later, Dino.
If that's okay with you, mate.
Yeah. No, I ain't going to
You-
bed late.
Okay. Yeah, you jump on whenever you feel like it, mate.
Well,
I can
I'm
only have
good
6 on
anyway.
at once, but
Have a good one, Eddie.
Yeah, and you, mate. Look after yourself. If
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
not,
I'm good
man.
anyway. Bye.
yeah, if I'm not on later, mate, I'll catch you next time you're on.
Yeah, okay, bye.
see you later, Ben. Yeah, he sounds like a nice guy, does Ben. He's been coming on regularly now, hasn't he? Wednesday as well, and he got a right good cheer up on Wednesday.
Seems like he's getting his shit sorted out, anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Seems like a nice guy, man.
very much so. Let me just bring Trog features back. Hang on.
Are you an auditor?
Yeah.
Dino?
Just to let you know, there is something up your account, Dino. On one of my phones, I'm showing up green as a member, and on my other phone, I'm showing up blue. So you need to
Right, this is what I'm getting on mine. So I have been hacked, haven't I?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
No, you've not been hacked, mate. That's YouTube doing this, mate.
If you'd been at this channel wouldn't even be here right now. We'd all be booted off.
Probably.
They wouldn't allow that. Yeah, trust me.
Well, I'll just take it as it comes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing nothing wrong at the end of the day.
If the show
People do
Speaking
enjoy
is
Fran.
wrong nowadays. Speaking is wrong.
Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, everyone seems to. What was it? Somebody, something I read somewhere. Somebody stated what they heard the other day, which was somebody going, obviously, because somebody was saying something about whatever is happening. They said until they've got 2 in the arm, as many as there is, they should shut up.
LJ, I've just modded you back as well. Just modded you back up as well. Are you doing no more? So there is stuff happening, guys. Just bear with it. I can't apologise because I haven't unmodded anyone apart from Joe Public.
What's this? What's this auditing stuff all about? What's that?
I thought you said you've seen videos and that.
Yeah,
No,
I thought you had.
I've seen your video where you go around the market and all that. But what's auditing?
Can I try and?
I don't
make it,
understand
sure.
what it's like the intended purpose of it. Enlighten me.
Well,
What
what
is
do
an
you?
audit? Normally, it's a check. Basically, it's providing a record in video and audio form of you checking what happens at a certain place. Usually to do with whether people's attitude on photography, recording of in public is, taken nicely. But really, it's turned into actually keeping a check on the people in their own jobs. Never mind the attitude of photography.
Yeah, it's like it says. It's checking records. So you'll hear people like to plod or not to plod on us when they say, "Well, what are you doing?" and things like that. And it's like, well, the reason we're doing it is because we do want to see how you guys react, for one, because the public and the police, the gap, the relationship, no good anymore. Plus, taxpayers' money and all that. How is this money being spent? Is it being spent towards the maintenance and upkeep of your building? Are you showing an example and having a clean, tidy, and well-maintained building and things like that? So you
Like,
auditing the police and worthy work and things like that, and the vehicles.
what kind of people do you go in, like hospitals and film, or what? What's
No,
it?
there's a line.
Well,
Definitely a line.
there was a journalist or a lady that did that at the start of all this crisis. She went to a hospital and they arrested her for some reason.
Yeah,
I
but
did see one.
Because it was empty.
You said you go into public buildings and all that to see if the money's being spent or whatever. What do you go in, like I said, in hospitals or where they to check whether street sweepers are doing their job properly? Well, like that's paid for by the taxpayer. Presumably, you film them as well, no?
I used to do
No.
auditing in different companies for the company that I used to work for. And basically, what it was, you went around that company, they employed you to basically look at how they do their things. Are they doing it correctly? Are they doing it within the law? Are they doing it in legislation? Are they following all health and safety? Everything, everything. Are they doing it by the book? Right. What these guys do when they go out auditing, they are checking, they are looking to see if, like the police, are they doing their job by the book? Are they upholding the law? Are they doing it by their agenda and everything else? Is it all correct? That's what it's all about.
Like the police, you mean the police?
Right? No, not just the police.
Anyone.
The most important thing is with police and security, because they're quite high profile. That these are people who have to deal with the public in certain different ways, certain areas, and it could go from sweet talk to violence. They have to deal with everything in between that. So it's how they deal with that and how they cope with it. And the gap is massive now, isn't it, between security and police and the public. So it's checking on those records as well, because when they're saying they put these nice posters up of smiling policemen and the community thing, we're all a community and protect and serve, and all, they're not doing that to a large degree.
Only the other day I was fucking pulled up by police. I was sitting down with my mate on some steps, and two fucking old Bill came up to us, and said, "What you doing?" I said, "We're not doing anything. We're just walking up to Hampstead Heath because that's where I live, near Hampstead." And he said, "What's your name?" I said, "I don't have to give you my name, do I?" He said, "No, you don't at first." And then he wouldn't let me go. Like he said, "What are you doing? Like I've come along here, and you're not going to give me your name. So what I'm going to do is what he did is he called into the police station onto his sergeant or whatever over the radio, and said that unless I give him my name and address, he's going to handcuff me and arrest me for what did he say? Antisocial behaviour. Because I was sitting on a step and
Section 5.
my mate had a beer. Yeah, I didn't have a beer, but I said, yeah, I've had a drink. And yeah, I tried to do the old Danny Shine, you know what I mean? I've done nothing wrong. I didn't know what to do. I stalled them out for about 20 minutes, but at the end of it, they put the cuffs on me, and he reckoned his sergeant said, yeah, they can nick me for antisocial behaviour, or at least take me in for that, even though they're not going to charge me. Yeah, just for not giving him my name, my details.
That's only the case in a certain few situations, not all situations. So usually the police have to state the law as well.
I said all that. I said, you know, under what law, under what authority do you have to do that to me?
That's why I'd record them, you know, all the time. If I ever have any police come near me, I will start recording, even if I wasn't before.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we were just sitting there, like, on our way to Hampstead Heath, literally for a few minutes. And, yeah, they just came along and caught us sitting down. And my mate had a beer, you know, in his hand.
Caught you sitting down like it's a crime.
Yeah, and I was astonished that he could actually come up with the excuse, if you don't give me your details, what are you hiding and all that? And if not, then yeah, antisocial behaviour. I knew if they would have took me in, I wouldn't have got charged, because I would have said on your body cam and all that, like it'll be proved. We were just sitting there quietly talking. But I didn't want to go through all the hassle, so I caved in the end, and I just gave them my details to get the handcuffs off me and go home. But yeah, they fucking take the piss, these cunts.
Nowadays they do. It's out of order.
Yeah, man. Do you think there's an element? Really, you know, these auditors, though, do you think there's an element? I've seen one or two other people doing that stuff.
I think I know what you're going to say.
I think there's an element of, like, what do you call it?
Entrapment.
Taunting the police into getting a reaction.
Well, yeah, it's a trap.
No, like you're trapping the police.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, it's a trap. Of course it is.
Right. Yeah,
it's a trap.
And if they don't,
even though they know it's a trap now, because they're getting actually pretty clued up, they're still half the time breaking their own rules and laws.
Yeah, I mean,
thanks, SG, mate. I've just seen that in the private, so thanks. I've got that, SG.
Yeah, I like people who call them out. You know what I mean? But I think there is a little element of maybe taunting the police and calling them names until they overreact. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what you've got to remember is that it used to be anyway, and I certainly believe it should still be a given fact that a police officer is held to a higher standard than a normal person on the street.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Obviously, yeah.
So that's where the bridge needs to be made, so they can actually speak to people rather than be asshole tyrants.
Yeah. Imagine though. Can I just put the shoe on the other foot? Imagine you're at work. I don't know what you do. Like, imagine you're a I don't know, a tailor. You're a fucking cobbler, somebody
Dino,
comes
take private chat, Matt.
in, somebody comes in and points a camera right in your face, what would your reaction be when you're at work minding your own business and somebody comes along to do that? What would your reaction be?
I would probably be looking for the boss and thinking, is this legit?
Would you say anything to the cameraman?
Hi, Joanne.
I probably
Trevor.
wouldn't say shit.
I'm just asking the question.
Do you know what?
Me personally, I wouldn't say anything. And I'd
There's a
leave
lot of
probably
people
quick.
still convinced that you are Crinkle, mate. Hell of a lot of people. If you just keep your eye on that chat,
Who, me?
yeah,
Who the fuck's Crinkle?
someone
What?
who sounds identical to you, same voice and everything.
Kimball, not Crinkle, Kimball.
No, but people are saying that you are Crinkle.
Who the fuck's Crinkle anyway?
Somebody who just tries to wind people up apparently and who's a troll.
Well, have I been trolling anyone?
I don't know. I mean, you can put your face on screen if you want.
Well, I'm not, but
Make sure you put your baseball cap
well,
on
I'll
and your
just be
glasses
quiet
on.
and join in. Just chime in. I'll just chime in when anyone else brings up something worth chiming in about. Then.
Well, Fluke will be coming on soon. You can chat to Fluke about stuff if you want.
Berto and Kimball sounds all right so far. I can't see what he's maybe even indicated as to why he wouldn't be.
Who the fuck's
Would you?
Crinkle anyway? I ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
Listen, I'll just say this, right? Because, and Eddie will back me up here 100%. There's a guy called Auditor for Auditor who I don't like. I don't like him.
Why
Some
not?
people say,
on
oh, he's
him,
all
no.
right, but he's not. And
Why
he
not?
sounds just like Biker.
Somebody said I sound like the auditor called I can't remember the name now. They said
Do you agree with auditing? Because you say you watch videos and that, so are you pro auditing or against it, or maybe somewhere in the middle, unsure or whatever?
Well, I think police need to be held accountable and need to do their jobs properly. But what I don't agree with is going up to them and taunting them, provoking them into a bad response, sort of interfering with the experiment in a way. Just think about the David Attenborough documentaries where he's filming animals or whatever. I think it should be done passively like that without having to get involved in saving some deer from being eaten by a lion. It should be filmed without interacting with what you're filming at all.
No, you've got to interact though. In fact, most of the time, right, it's them who approach you.
Exactly.
So the thing is to just film about and let them approach you. If they don't approach you, carry on. Don't try and instigate anything. Some people do that, but my style is to just carry on and be on my way.
Well, I'm with you on that, Dino. That I'm perfectly.
But that doesn't always happen, you see. And this is my philosophy on it is, and I've said it to many people, Indy will back me up, is let these guys expose themselves. And do you know what? That's what they do.
Yeah,
depending on your certain style of checking them records or whatever you want to call it.
I agree. I haven't actually seen too many of the ones where they goad the police too much, but I can imagine it goes on out there.
Can I just say good evening to my beautiful daughter who's in there, and also Joanne, who's in there as well. Massive supporter is Joanne, and Trevor Random as well. Trevor, keep sending me those links, mate, because they're absolutely wonderful. We are very much on the same wavelength when it comes to that kind of taste and the history stuff and all that about London. I absolutely love it. Trevor Random, guys. So Leah will probably stick his channel link up there. Trevor will say, "Oh no, it's not much of a channel and all this. He's a great guy, but please check his channel out." He's just out of respect. I've met Trevor. He came all the way from Brighton to see us in London. Not just me, but how nice was that? You know what I mean?
Next time you're in London and you're doing any filming, man, I'll give you my number. Give me a ring and we'll go out together and do it.
Right. Well, on my
Give me
channel
number.
page,
I'll put my number up somewhere for you.
put it in the private chat or email it to me.
All
My
right,
email's on my channel on my about page. Just click on business contact.
Oh yeah, I'll do that then. Yeah, I'll do
So
it.
do that, yeah.
You can't put it in private chat, mate.
I'll get the email. I'll get
Just
the
put
email.
put it in the email.
Yeah, I'm always like around in London, so if you're ever down here and you need somewhere to stay or whatever, we'll go out and we'll do your thing with the camera and all that. I'm up for it.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
I like your video, man. I like your videos.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of
Kelly, how you doing?
Ever heard of Bastion Radio, Verta?
Me?
Yeah.
No, the last time I saw that name was in the chat somewhere. Bastion.
Right.
There's a geezer called Bastion Radio.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, that's Mike
you-
Kelly.
Have you never actually looked at his lives or been on his lives?
No, mate.
Are you sure?
Right, any good? What are they about?
Well, I'm just listening to you. It sounds very much like you.
What do you mean? What?
I'll tell you something now, mate. I'm fairly convinced you're Crinkle as well.
Who the fuck's Crinkle? Anyway, whoever this Crinkle guy is.
But don't forget that guy sounds like Eddie, and it's not Eddie.
Yeah,
I've been accused of being all sorts of people. Like
it's just there are that many people in this chat, and
what the fuck has this Crinkle done anyway to
Right, listen, I'm just listening to this guy called Crinkle, right, and he's speaking not in the same accent, well, same accent as you, but he's talking the same dialect, exactly how you speak, with the expletives, every other word, everything.
Well, have I done anything wrong?
I'm not saying you've done anything wrong. What I'm saying is I'm listening to another channel at the same time, and the guy on there is speaking exactly the same as you, throwing the expletives in every other word, exactly like you, mate. I don't think you are who you say you are. I really don't.
Well, I don't think anybody on this on the internet says who they.
Well, I'm who I am.
Well, yeah. What's your second name?
Well, that's irrelevant, mate. Why should I give him a second name?
Well, there you go.
Can I just say, as I know who Biker is, and I speak to Biker regularly as well.
Okay.
So that's how you get to know people.
I've never spoken to Biker. I'd like to say hello, and I've listened to you a hell of a lot.
Have you really?
Biker's a great team member.
For anyone who hasn't been able to say two yet, awesome. Yeah, you're awesome. You're a legend.
Oh, cheers. I appreciate that.
He's big for me. He's massive to me and many other people as well. He's Biker. He does a lot of work, shall I say, behind the scenes. So he knows who's who and what's what, and he studies people. I'll just put it that way, and I think he's getting at a point. So don't underestimate him. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't. By the mask he's wearing, I wouldn't underestimate that guy, mate. For sure.
I'm talking about the guy above you.
Oh, well, Eddie the biker. I'm a biker too, man.
Oh, yeah.
What bike you got?
I've just sold one.
I've got a Fireblade 900, the old school ones, man.
Here's a question for you, Kimball, right? I'll put it up on screen now, and it's from Maria Moon.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Ron said, ask Crinkle, but I'm not Crinkle, if the PCR test is okay to detect the virus.
What do you think of that?
I haven't got a clue, but I can look it up for you if you want.
No worries. Trevor, I don't know if that's you. It could be. I'm going to bring you...
I'll tell you what. You know what I was told the other day? Yeah. I'll answer that question, actually, because... Oh, you're in luck, actually. Whoever asked that question. Let me just find it. Go on, carry on without me while I find it, yeah?
Right, I'm just going to bring Trevor on. In fact, I brought him on.
Good evening, chaps. Come on, let's stop this nonsense. Stop picking on this guy. He's obviously a fake. Let's move on with some more interesting
Hi,
stuff.
guys. I've got something for you. I've got the answer. I've got my answer to that.
Is this the quiz?
No, I've got my answer to that.
Go on then.
Can I show you?
Yeah, of course you can.
All right, you're going to have to share this. I'll share my screen with you.
Get ready to screen grab.
politics?
Get ready to screen grab, everybody. Get ready to screen grab. Horse
Okay.
buttons at the readies.
Somebody else can read it out for me then, if you just give me 1 second. Okay, let's go for it, man. Oh, 1 sec. Oh, where am I? Hey, I just
Hampstead Heath, apparently.
Okay, so share my screen, right?
Hope you're loving this, guys.
Share screen, select window or screen.
Make sure you've got your cap on backwards and your sunglasses, mate.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trevor, how you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm all right, Dino. I just fancied a laugh tonight. I'm just coming for a laugh.
Right.
Great to hear you again.
I'm glad you've been enjoying those videos, though. I've got loads to send you.
Dino.
Loads.
Keep them coming, mate. Just keep them coming. I do get round to watching them. Yeah.
Can you see that other screen with Verto and Kimball at the bottom of it? If you bring that in, I can share my screen and show you my answer to that question. Right. Can you see that?
No.
Can you see this?
No.
Let me just check. Hold on.
You can put it on full screen. Put it on full.
Yeah, can you see that now?
Oh, we can see it, but we can't read it.
I can't read it. Ridiculous.
But if
what is going on here?
If Dino puts that on full screen, you'll be able to read it.
Oh, good.
It's on full screen.
If you have a tablet,
United
you
States
can
patent.
do like a phone.
Can you see that?
I can just read a bit. So it says United States patent.
Yeah, Mullis et al., which means Mullis and others, right? This is the original patent for the PCR test. If I scroll down, right?
You know, if you put fruit shoot on it, you get a positive result, don't you?
Can you read that highlighted in yellow here?
Also works with Ribena and Tango.
Yeah.
I'll read it
A
out.
positive result ends up in a negative situation.
Here you go.
Right.
I'll expand it so you can read it, right?
Okay. So the field of invention, right?
Right, yeah.
The present invention relates to a process for amplifying existing nucleic acid sequences if they are present in a test sample and detecting them if present by using a probe. More specifically, it relates to a process for producing any particular nucleic acid sequence from a given sequence of DNA or RNA in amounts which are large compared to the amount initially present. So blah, blah, frigging blah. Maybe a relatively pure to be competent mixture of acids to accomplish the amplification of the acid sequence.
Okay, now
That
let
to
me
me
just
is-
scroll down.
Acid!
No,
Acid!
yeah, I've highlighted the rest for you.
I never took that picture.
Okay, there you go.
Right, well, that first paragraph, mate, that just didn't make any logic about what you're trying to answer. But
Okay, well, here you go.
we'll go again, mate. We'll give you some time.
Read that. Okay, there you go.
I'll read this for you, Dino, mate.
Right.
You're going to have to read it for me. I'm dyslexic.
Thank you.
Various infectious diseases can be diagnosed by the presence in clinical samples of specific DNA sequences, characteristic of the causative microorganism. Right, okay. So what are you trying to say? Because I'm not reading the rest of it. No. What's the problem? The point of carrying on with that is not answering what you were asked. You're just quoting some American law.
What was I asked? This is the patent. This is the original patent by Carey Mullis for the PCR test.
But what are you actually answering?
Yeah, what was I asked? Tell me what I was asked.
Dino, what were he asked? Because I forgot now, because my fucking mind's just gone must. We're reading that shit.
The PCR test.
Yeah, wasn't it something to do with PCR tests?
Can it be used to diagnose any disease or detect a virus or a bacteria?
Yeah, you were asked your opinion of it, not to freaking put up some American patents.
No, now you're trying to get out of it. I'll read it for you then, yeah?
No, you're all right, mate.
No, you're all right.
Could you narrow it down and just give us an overview of what you think, rather than, was it in simple terms, what is it saying?
Okay. I seem to remember you were asked what your opinion was of it. But now you're quoting something now.
No, let's go back to the question, right? Hold on, let me find the question. Let me close
if these PCR tests are any good, why do they hand them out like they're handing out free samples of Coca-Cola and Mars bars at the train stations almost on a daily basis?
Well,
won't be forever, though.
Can I answer that then? Well, you're mistaken, because they don't hand out PCR tests at the station. They hand out lateral flow antigen tests at the station.
Yeah, screw them.
Okay.
There's a massive difference between the two.
Yeah, it's both inaccurate.
Well, actually,
both give false positives.
Well, actually, you're not. You're refusing to read the patent from Carey Mullis, the inventor of the PCR test, which I just showed on the screen.
Well, I'm not refusing to read it.
Refusing to take in what it said, which it was designed to diagnose diseases caused by microorganisms, which include viruses and bacteria. And
made in a laboratory in Wuhan with American taxpayers' money, with Dr. Fauci giving all the money towards it. Yes, we know.
This goes back to the question I was asked, though, about PCR and whether it can be used to detect diseases, and that's my answer. And you can look it up yourself.
That's not your answer, mate. You're just quoting and showing us an American patent that was put into place. That's what you're quoting, mate. That isn't what you were asked. You were asked for your opinion on what you said.
Yeah, okay, biker, right? I was asked a question, right? I could answer it in my own words, but everyone could say, "Oh, what's your opinion?" That doesn't matter. But if I pull up the actual patent by the original people who invented the PCR test, what it was designed for, and then show you it and get you to read it out, maybe you'd believe me. If I just tell you in my own words, you could just dismiss it out of hand.
But you've got an opinion, and I would respect that. Everybody's got an opinion.
This is what research is called, yeah.
Is that just mine, or is it something happening there with the audio?
And I'll put it back up on screen if you want.
No, you're all right, mate.
No, you're all right. I've done enough reading for tonight.
My answer to the question is basically
look at your research.
No, just to point you towards the original patent for the PCR test by the people who invented the PCR test and what it was invented for. You can read it in black and white. I don't need to say anything. That should speak for itself.
Yeah, but it's been proven that it's inaccurate.
Well, it hasn't, though, actually.
It has.
No, it hasn't.
It's been proven it's inaccurate.
Well, totally inaccurate. It gives false readings. That's why they're using it.
Show me the evidence for that, then. Show me the evidence.
Look at it. It's there.
Show me anything like I've shown.
Right, change the subject, because I said something now. I don't want people in my chat getting pissed off with what's being said, and a lot of people are getting pissed off by it, mate. And still people are convinced that you're crinkle, and I'm getting told that, you're trying to get the channel taken down. So I hope not.
Dino, all I'm trying to do is present you with evidence. A lot of people say a lot of things, but don't present you with any evidence whatsoever. Yeah, and this is called research. A lot of people claim to do research, but don't show you what any evidence at all. I'm showing you in black and white the original patent from the inventor of the PCR test that clearly states that this invention is patented and it's designed for detecting and diagnosing diseases caused by bacteria and viruses. And
anyway, I said to my friend the other day, I said, I don't need sex at the moment. I'm getting fucked by the government on a daily basis.
Well, that's fair enough.
So really, it's not evidence, is it? Because they always write shit down and put papers out there, and it turns out to be total bullshit and lies.
Well, okay then. Well, if you claim that, show me the evidence that it doesn't work.
Crinkle, what you've just shown.
Rice and Peas has got it spot on. Do it. Do it, do it, do it.
Right, you've got to go, mate, because I've got someone else backstage and you have had your turn. You've been on for a while, so...
Rice and Peas.
Thanks for coming on, mate, anyway.
Yeah, right.
I thought this was the fun hour before the heavy shit.
No, that was the fun hour, would you not agree?
I don't know.
I think serial killer's on, unless it's somebody else, but he's muted his own mic. I'm gonna...
Hello, La! Hello, La!
No, Steve, how are you doing, mate?
That's not me, that's someone else. Where am I?
Fluke, help.
God bless you, sir. I hope you saw the little WhatsApp I sent today. It's yours, Bonnie lad. 100%. It's
right,
100%.
Steve.
Dino, mate, we're on the road. I'm not telling you where we're going, but we're we're not almost there. We're fucking miles away. But thank you very much, sir. It was my pleasure to meet you. You're a diamond geezer in a diamond suit. And I want to meet you again. I'll see you in a few days, I hope. But we're fucking off, mate, now. So everybody else can do exactly like me. Make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here.
You've been great company, mate.
Steve,
he's gone.
I will. No, he's still listening. I will get back to your message. I've shown that picture to our lass, and I will get back to you, mate. I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Steve-O, anyway, mate. Enjoyed your company.
Yeah.
Been honestly a great laugh. That's why I'm so tired.
Yeah. Hey up, Flo. How you doing, mate? Can you not hear me?
Mark?
Can you hear us, Flo?
Oh, sorry, you talking to me?
Yes, I do, mate. How you doing? You
Sorry.
fucking ignored me, mate.
Someone said Mark, and I thought my name's not Mark.
Yeah.
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me on again, Dino.
Yeah, I've just been researching that guy. He's been on, mate. Yeah, I've found out who he was, mate. Voice was the same, expressions was the same, everything. Exactly the same, without a doubt.
You know, he's such a fucking troll, it's untrue. You know, Crinkle just cannot give it up. No matter how many times I have blasted him on YouTube on multiple live streams for the last 18 months, and he still can't give it up. He's either A, the king of trolls, B, a government agent, or C, a complete cocksucker.
Can you not be all three? Can you not be all three?
Yeah, probably all three. But I couldn't give a shit, and I didn't want to come on while he was on because it would just—he's just got such a thing for me. It's untrue, you know. He's like he's got 28 sock puppets accounts on YouTube, right? He claims to be a Bachelor of Science, which doesn't mean shit. You can be a Bachelor of Science in art, you know. It doesn't mean anything. Just like you can be a doctor of something, you know. We can get onto that later if you want, Dino, because there's plenty of doctors on the Spy B committee that apparently are doctors, but have got but none of them have got any medical qualifications whatsoever. So, and these are the people advising your government. And you know, does he? You know, Crinkle's just such a troll. That's all he is. He's, you know, sitting there with his bed with his washing piled on it, like looking like some sort of skaghead. You know
That's what I'm watching. That's what I've been watching, mate.
And he's just a cunt with the greatest of respect. You know, there's no other word for him. We'll see you next Tuesday. And I've destroyed him so many times. I'm so glad. Actually, I'm not sure if Leah or one of the other moderators can put this guy's channel in the chat. Oh, actually, I can do it, can't I? Hang on one second.
Just bear with us, James. You know what it's like on a Friday sometimes.
This is, hang on, let me just put his link to his BitChute chat.
Tyro, right, I'll bring you on, but Fluke's just come on. If you just want to let him speak and that for a bit, mate. If you just want to say hello and then let Fluke carry on talking, mate. I know you've been waiting.
Right, this is the guy's channel, and what he's been doing is a great job, and I think congratulated on he's done such a fantastic job. I'm going to put his BitChute channel in the link in the description. Sorry, bloody hell, description.
Chat.
In the chat. Let me just go back to YouTube because I can't do it in StreamYards for some reason, which is nonsense. But let's go to that. And right, this guy deserves a lot of credit. And also, I'm going to put it in the chat now. Go to his channel on BitChute and subscribe to him. Now, what he's doing something that we asked everybody to do on mine and Bastion's last couple of live streams, whereby we said, look, what you need to do is kind of take 10-minute chunks of videos and post them wherever you want to post them. You know, Mike's happy with it. I'm happy with it. No, not a problem at all. Just crack on and do it. And this guy's done it. He's done about, I think it's up to about 20 videos of 10-minute, chunks where you can share them with people rather than try and share a 4-hour live stream with your normie friends who, can't get their head away from government and all this sage bullshit and all the bullshit that goes on in the newspapers. There's a link to send 10-minute sections of different live chats, and he's done it brilliantly. This guy deserves a lot of credit because he's gone out of his way to sort of download these videos, go through them minute by minute, edit them, and post them up on BitChute. And much respect. I know his name because he's a nice bloke. He's emailed me quite a few times, and he did a video today which had me destroying Crinkle on the live stream with his own channel links and his own links to his own websites that he's been using for his research, apparently, that he'd never done.
I wonder if that's what I've just been watching then.
Yeah, that's the one you just watched, yeah, Eddie.
Is that what it is?
That's him. That was Crinkle all day long because he starts off with this Mickey Mouse, tries to hide his voice with some sort of northern accent, and then he can't keep it going, so he just refers back to his normal accent, which is Crinkle. I've been talking to this twat for fucking 18 months. He's a first-class dick, right? And he couldn't fucking worm his way out intellectually out of a conversation if he fucking tried. The guy's got an IQ of a fucking flat tire, right? And I've known empty goldfish bowls with more fucking IQ than him. You know what I mean?
That's what I said, mate.
Well, that's him sorted. Let's not talk about him anymore because this is the problem with these trolls. You keep talking about them and they love it and they come back for more. And it just becomes a perpetuating thing. You just got to knock it on the head. I saw 5 minutes into that conversation. I don't even know who this Crinkle is, that he was a troll. But well done for entertaining him and entertaining us for a bit, I suppose.
I think we all caught on fairly early. I mean, I did get a message off one or two saying blah, 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 and then it clicked. I thought I'd run with it for a bit. It did become one comment said it's comedy night. Well, it kind of was for half an hour or so. And I enjoyed it till it got to that point, and I think everyone was pissed off by then. So he had to go. He's still trying to get backstage under
Of course.
many different
under one of
names. The
his many
latest one was
accounts.
Debate Fluke Dog, but he's just changed it now to I'm not a troll, I just ... Master Ron is backstage. He's a good guy, but I can only get 6 on.
Master Ron is an awesome guy.
Yeah, I'm willing to jump off for 5 minutes.
What?
I can only have 6 on.
I know
so,
I know what you're saying. It does happen. You do it sometimes, don't you, Dina?
Yeah.
Very commendable thing to do, that.
So I'll just... I'll let Master...
Actually, Dino,
Ron
before you go, Dino, I just want to say thank you for trolling Crinkle back like you did. It's absolutely fucking superb.
But I actually enjoyed what I just did with him.
I noticed that, Biker, as well. That was quality, mate. Absolute quality. For him to sit there on a live stream, and we've got it recorded because somebody else is recording it all, and to troll him back and him giving it I'm not Crinkle and all this bullshit is just hilarious, mate. Hilarious.
Big up Nanya. Big up Nanya. What a legend that guy is. Poor Australia. They really are having it hard. Jesus Christ. We think we got it bad here. Jesus Christ.
You are right.
Really sausage up.
Except they've got a lot less cases, haven't they?
Yes, a lot less.
It's ridiculous, really.
The less cases they get, the harder the government comes down on you. It's weird, isn't it? Weird.
Yeah. I think they did something in New South Wales where it was just like New South Wales has got like a population of 5.5 million people, and they've shut it down because they've got 12 new cases.
Yeah, my friend lives in
one death of somebody was 84 or something.
Yeah,
like people in their 80s don't die anymore. It's like it's shock horror. It's just fear. This is the whole fear campaign. That's what
a friend of mine lives in Melbourne, and he was there for the protest the other day. He kind of got caught up in it accidentally, and he said the different types of people that were there, every kind of person, kids, parents, adults, working people, fire people, all these different people all come together to say we're not having this anymore, and the police went in hard with tear gas and everything, full on.
And they did this under the first lockdown demonstration in Trafalgar Square, where David Icke and others were talking, it was two things to tie it in with. One thing is, the BBC's headquarters is just an 11-minute taxi ride from Trafalgar Square. Did anyone from the BBC go and interview any of the protesters? No. Did the BBC go down and film it? No. Did the BBC do anything? No. There was 50,000 people at that demonstration, and the next day on the BBC's website, they put up a post or a headline saying 2,000 far right-wing anti-vaxxers demonstrated. It just speaks for itself. The BBC want burning to the ground, mate. I mean, they're just the most redundant media outlet on the planet.
Well, the great thing about this scamdemic, it has lifted the scales and opened our eyes to a lot of corruption, a lot of hypocrisy from big organisations like the BBC. And we've known the BBC are wrong uns for the longest time, but this thing has really brought it into another sphere. Now that we know that they're definitely the propaganda arm of the government, we know nothing will happen to the BBC until 2027. In the interim period, you will see a vast amount of spending, crazy spending, and lots of virtue signalling from the BBC. But in 2027, that's when things will change. It's up to individuals to stop paying the license fee. There is no reason to have a TV license in 2021. Wake up and smell the coffee. Unless you really like Strictly Come Dancing in Coronation Street, carry on paying that ridiculous tax, you sucker. But everybody else is wise to it. The BBC is a propaganda broadcasting network. Even in China, they don't pay for their propaganda.
In 20 years. Sorry.
Even in China, they don't pay for their propaganda. It's just ridiculous.
See, in Germany, they had to force you to go to the cinema and watch it.
Mm.
Now we choose to pay for it and watch it.
Well, I don't. I haven't paid for it since the late 80s, I think.
20 years I've not watched television or had a TV license.
No need, absolutely no need for it. And do you know, I can't remember the last, it's only when I go around people's houses that I actually see a television program, and then it's all a bit weird because I go, how do you watch this?
Yeah, can I ask you? I went through a whole process with that. I basically stopped watching the television. Then I was like pointing at the television and having a go at it, and people were defending their television. Yeah, and then I went through this stage where it was like the television was some kind of really antisocial to only me thing in the room, like an extra person, like an AI speaking a load of bullshit that I just wanted to like kick.
Yeah, well, yeah, understandably, because it sits there in the corner of the room, dominating a lot of people's houses, doesn't it? It's almost a piece of furniture in some people's houses. But
I think that's the thing. You're right,
I just can't.
because that's the thing. You spend most of your time at home in your living room or in your kitchen, diner, or whatever, and they always have a telly there. So, and the reason that is because you think it's your sit down time where you can just chill out and blah 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 and whatever, but everything that's on there it's called programming for a reason, and it's nothing but that. It's just mental psychological programming. Look what's happened with the whole COVID thing over the last year, and fear campaign, and they've tried this so many times. They tried it with AIDS back in the 80s. They tried it with variant CJD, mad cow disease, Zika, Ebola, swine flu, H1N1, bird flu. They've just tried it with everything, and they just couldn't pull the trigger every time. They tried it with the whole terrorism thing. That was all about giving up your rights, and because of these mad Muslim terrorists that are going to come over here and and wreak havoc. It was just it's always about fear. Fear is the currency of control. And what do these people want? Because they've got the gold market, they've got the silver market, they've got the stock market, they've got all the corporations, they've got control of the monetary system. The only thing they don't have control of is the people. And this is about control.
It's always been
They
a
want
very
your soul.
well-used
They want your soul.
way to control the people. Fear is always a better way for those in power. Usually, it used to be, royalty.
Yeah.
And the kings and queens of earlier times used to keep the people malnourished because they had to pay lots of bills and tax. They take everything you own basically.
Yeah,
and keep you weak.
And it's a very simple. It's a difficult thing if you're going to sit down with one of your normie friends who believes everything they watch on the BBC, then it's very difficult to get through to them. Every argument or every statistic or
any argument
over the last 18 months. But if you bury it down to the basic bones of what it is, it's about control. And if you can use that, and if other people in the chat or whatever it is can use the basics of what they're trying to do, it's just about control. This is what they want. They want control of the people. And this is
total control. It's total control flow. You're absolutely right, because the same situation happens if you talk to somebody who's a iPhone or an Apple user. They will defend Apple to the hilt. They will go, it's great, it's fantastic. You cannot say anything bad about it. And it's the same with television, and it's also the same with anyone that's had the vaccine. You try and tell them that I think you've made a mistake, they will defend it to the hilt. And then I say to them, look, don't forget that Boris said, and he's on record as saying this, let the bodies pile high. He doesn't care about our health or safety. This government is guilty of causing harassment, alarm and distress to the entire country, and they all should be arrested, quite frankly.
Not to mention treason and coercion as well.
And don't forget the whole reason why they're doing it for themselves, which is the money. Money.
Most of them have got shares in Pfizer and these different companies. They're all coining it in. And of course, they're going to be happy to keep people on furlough forever because they're all getting paid their wage, whatever happens. They don't care.
While
They
there's
don't
bombs going
care.
off in the country.
Yeah, this is, and
It's like bombs are going off in the country and no one can hear or see them and they ignore them.
Well, bombs are going off in terms of the shooting that happened yesterday and different incidents, the stabbings that are happening, and the stuff I'm seeing every day in the streets. People are arguing over silly things. It's insane.
This is just clear divide and conquer tactics. It ain't nothing new. They've been using this for thousands of years. The Egyptians used it. The Romans did it. The Nazis did it. The communists did it. You know, it's all about divide and conquer. It's about, and literally the same thing was used. The same thing was used in the Roman times about the fear that everyone's going to infiltrate Rome and destroy Rome, and they scared their own population into believing everything that they were doing. And all they did was went out and conquered the whole of Europe. You know, the same thing happened with the same thing happened with the Nazis. Oh, everyone's going to be against us because we're Germans, and it's all the Jews and blah blah blah. And they just scared people into believing that they should do it. And what happened? The Germans tried to conquer the world by invading Poland and France and etc. etc. You know, it's always fear is the currency of control, and if you control people's minds, this is a psychological operation, and it's a reason it's a psychological operation.
It's a psyop,
is because when you have people like Susan Mitchie, who I'll get onto later when Dino's back, she is a professor of psychology. She's not an epidemiologist. She's not a virologist. She's not a doctor of any medicine whatsoever. She's about here, the brain, the psych. Why is there a person involved in psychology advising the government on what to do? And this is a woman that said that masks and social distancing should pretty much stay around forever.
Is that the one that had a particular political...
Yes, she's a 40-year card-carrying member of the Communist Party.
Yes, there's your agenda right there.
Exactly.
And this is the thing with agendas. The agendas are always set in stone before people are even elected. If you look back at the Iraq war and the Afghanistan war and things like that, the agenda was always to stay at war. You know, it didn't matter whether it was Bush or Barack Obama or with Democrats or Republicans or Conservatives or Labour or whatever. The agenda's already in place, and the politicians know they've got to toe the agenda line, not the political line, the agenda line. Barack Obama famously said in the run-up to him being elected that he would close Guantanamo Bay and withdraw troops from Iraq and Afghanistan. And what happened? When he got into power, he kept Guantanamo Bay open. He stayed in Iraq and Afghanistan and even sent another 35,000 troops out there. Because it doesn't matter. You can say whatever you want to say when you want to get elected. Once you are put in that position of power, you have to toe the agenda line, and the agenda line's preset before you get in there. And it's the same with Tony Blair. The Tony Blair that got elected in 1997, in the Iraq War and this, that, and the other. And what did he do? He took us into the Iraq War because that was the agenda.
Another one that should be in prison.
Yeah, I spoke to somebody who went to university with Tony Blair. And they said he would probably sell his grandmother for a piece of shit.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't hear that.
The Tony Blair would probably sell his grandmother for a piece of shit.
Tony Blair is a disgusting criminal.
And definitely in secret society, as you might call.
This is the thing with Tony Blair. He's a disgusting criminal, and he knows he's a criminal. How that bloke sleeps at night, I'll never know.
I don't know how he made it onto the UN. Oh, hold on.
So much money over the last fucking.
I do know how he made it onto the UN. Yeah.
Because he's a disgusting criminal with no fucking conscience whatsoever, and he claims to be a socialist. Socialist, my arse. You're a fucking disgusting, money-grabbing criminal, is what you are, Tony Blair.
I had to explain this to somebody the other day. Yeah, that these politicians don't have the same, thought set or emotional content to what they do that we might have. They don't care. They don't give a shit. To think that they care is a mistake.
Yes.
You don't think that the government, right? Okay, we vote for them. We put all we want into power, if you like. The Americans do the same thing. However, throughout the world, they all put them into that position. But they come out with the decisions that they are saying that they make. Ultimately, they're not making those decisions. They are being coerced into making those decisions by another party. Who's that other party? You've got in America,
medical experts.
Right, no, wait a minute.
Supposedly right now on the face of it, but not. You have to admit that's correct, isn't it? You know, they're like the medical experts are advising the government right now to follow these processes, yeah?
Yeah, but if you go back down that same track, those medical experts aren't the medical experts that they're made out to be.
Exactly.
Right, you've got...
listen, I can actually... Biker, sorry, I didn't mean to cut across you there, but I just wanted to make a point because you said something very important there. Not only are these people not medical experts, on top of that, you have a bunch of left-wingers advising a conservative government on how to conduct their response to COVID. And this ties in directly to pharmaceutical companies and everything else as well. And the reason that that's happening is because the agenda is a left-wing Marxist communist agenda. That's what's going on. And what you end up with is you end up in a situation where, and I can go through it later if Dean wants to do it later, I'll take you through a few slides and a few bits and pieces and show you how this is a bunch of left-wingers, and the second bunch of them are University College London, right, who are completely financed, and I've got the proof, financed by the Bill and Melinda. And it's all on there. I can put, and the main woman advising the government at the moment is Susan Michie, who is a card-carrying member of the Communist Party and has been in the UK for 40 years. And this woman is a multi-millionaire. How can you? Since when does multi-millionaire and communist come into the same sentence? You know, and it's just like it's kind of, this is the thing with these people, is they kind of, you know. Can you imagine going back 3 years and going into a hall of, say, 300 Conservative Party members or voters and saying to them, look, in 3 years' time, your government's going to be advised, your Conservative government is going to be advised by a bunch of left-wing communists? They would have fallen off their chair laughing at you. And here we are today, a Conservative government being told what to do by a bunch of left-wing communists. It's laughable. It's not only laughable, it's scary in the sense that people don't realize that this information is freely available online, but nobody's talking about it, with the exception of myself.
Yeah.
Well,
except it's not really communism, is it? It's more like fascism now.
Well, yeah, fascism, communism, you know,
it's definitely an
Marxism, it's all one and the same thing. All three of those. All three of those things are all about control. It's about the state having all the power and you having no rights. So that's why they're coming after First Amendment lawyers, Second Amendment lawyers. You know,
that takes me back to my further comment earlier. The governments, they are dictated to by a second or a third party, and you can keep on going down the line. I mean, you go back to JFK shooting. Right, if you go back to that, his ideology there went against what he was being advised against. Now, whether or not he got shot because of that, I'm not going to go into that, but that is the type of thing that these people that are controlling the governments, which they do control the governments, without a doubt, that's a sort of scenario that you're going to get. And that's it. I mean, you look at Ronald Reagan, his ideology was slightly different. In the first Gulf War, they tried to take him out. He got shot, but it didn't work. Now, it's that sort of scenario. You've got so many second, third, fourth, fifth parties dictating to the government on how they should do things. But why the fucking hell do they listen? Why are they actually in government when they listen to these people?
That's
because
a good
they
question,
because they
Eddie.
because they know what their role is. They know what their role is before they get in government. They know that they have to toe the line. And a complete simplistic answer to what's happened with the current situation that we're in this country and around the world is the fact that there is no opposition to this. There's no opposition because you'd still have COVID, you still have lockdowns, you still have vaccines, you still have all of this, regardless of whether it was a Labour or Tory government, because the agenda was already set. The agenda was set that this was going to be a thing, and that's it. It wouldn't matter if it was Labour or Tory that was in power, because they don't have the power. They're just the salesman for the agenda. The agenda's already set. All they've got to do, the politicians, is sell it to the public or use fear to frighten people into doing whatever social
It's a good way of
controls
selling
they want.
things, you know. Works
Yeah,
for insurance and religion.
Can I just say, we know that things are not right. We all know that things are not right. I think we now need to start. We can do ourselves in talking about this and that, and we get called conspiracy and whatever. But we need to move forward here with this now and make our plans for what we're going to do for the next bit, because we know worse is coming. We know it. And we've got to make these plans now, because we're having a great time on YouTube at the moment, but this isn't going to last for much longer.
Not for much longer at all. You're damn right. And now is the time. And I'm going to use
now is more than ever. We need to do it.
to put with that as well. Now is the time. And Barack Obama said it, but I'm just going to steal it and use it for this. But we are the people we've been waiting for.
Well, yes.
All of us. We are the people we've been waiting for.
Yes, and going back to what Dino said, I've been watching all of this for the longest time, and that day I went up to London. It cost me a fortune, I'm not made of money, but I went up there because I wanted to see it with my own eyes and meet up with everyone and see what people are like in reality. And actually, it turns out people are actually much better in reality than on YouTube, which is a lovely surprise.
Sorry for cutting in, guys. I know I've been off for a few minutes, but I've listened to the last few minutes. Ben, I know you're backstage. I'm only allowed 6 on. There's also someone else waiting back there, but I think it's Crinkle. So you're not coming on. I don't want any drama in the chat. I know a certain name's been mentioned a few times. Leave it out, okay? Whether he's live or not, I don't know. I'm not bothered, okay? Keep the drama out of it. And someone's just put, can you guys, can we answer some of the questions that have been put in the chat? I'm just trying to find them. Who put that in? Was it John? Can the panel reply to some of the questions in the chat? So I'll go up from that. Or John, do you want to elaborate on that?
Right, listen, mate, if you've got somebody coming in up background, I'm going to get off anyway. It's my bedtime anyway, so I'm going to go. It's been a different evening tonight, mate. I've not been my normal self for the change, but yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, it has been slightly different, hasn't it? A bit of a different start.
Yeah.
We don't normally have a comedy hour. We have a light-hearted banter stroke jokey hour, but it's...
The thing is, if that's the thing, Dino, if you want a comedy hour, get Crinkle on, because he's guaranteed to give you comedy.
You heard it, mate. Just keep it clean when I do bring you on. Stop pretending that you're somebody you're not.
I must admit, I did enjoy ripping a bit out of
joined as well. Good evening, like the Brawl Box. Staffordshire, look how you doing? And Nigel as well. He's popped in. Thanks a lot, mate. Pink Rose and Sasha Blue as well. Always great to see.
Right, I'm off, mate.
No worries. Okay, I'll speak to you very soon, mate. And thanks as always.
Yeah, it's not
Take it easy, Eddie.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, mate. So, yeah, what I'm saying is we all know it's bad. We all know shit's going to get worse. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Come on.
That's what we're going to do about it.
What are we going to do about this?
If we do a Gandhi, it's all going to go through, isn't it?
The thing is, it's a very simplistic question. It's like, and I don't disagree with what you're saying, and we have to come up with various things. You know, there's no silver bullet to this. Just like there's no silver bullet to the financial system, or there's no silver bullet to the political system. There's no difference with this current scenario that we're in. But what we need to do is wake people the fuck up, because if we don't do it now and people don't realize they're being conned, you know, we can do simple things. The guy on BitChute, I shared his link earlier. That guy is going through every live stream, I think me, Mike, and God knows how many other people have ever done, and he's putting up 10-minute clips that can be so easily shared to your normie friends. Do you know what I mean? And that's the way, because if you send someone a 4-hour video, they ain't going to watch it. It's as simple as that. You know, so this guy's doing something really simple, and everybody in the chat can do this. Everybody on the panel can do this. Take 10-minute chunks of these videos and post them as everywhere you can. I don't give a shit if you post any of my videos. I don't care. I'm giving everybody carte blanche on the planet to share any of my videos. I don't care. You know, it's not. It's not important. You know, it's not important.
Little statement to you, Fluke, by John. Mass obedience of the population. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's what they got.
And this is what you need. Is you need mass disobedience. Is just say no. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not going to social distance. I don't give a shit about this, that, and the other. I'm not taking a vaccine, and that's it. You know, I'm not doing any of it. You know,
it doesn't even have to be disobedience. Non-compliance is just good enough.
Non-compliance, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that means don't buy anything by big companies. Don't buy anything by all, you know, any shitty companies.
For me on that, and it's very, very, I say it's easy to do because it is, but and I've always done it, is never pay for a TV license. Now, if nobody did that, in an ideal way, if no one did that, what is the worst what's going to happen to you? They would ban it, they would abolish it, there'd be no point in having one because no one would pay it. But they would still want to get those advertisements and programming out there to you.
No, the BBC know they're on their way out, Dino, and that's why they've set up a separate company called BBC Studios, which is completely separate to the BBC, and they are the big money-making arm of the BBC, where they sell their programmes all over the world. They're big stars, they're Graham Nortons, they're Strictly Come Dancings, they're big dramas. They sell BBC Studios.
BBC Stupidos.
Yes, Studios. Yeah, no, it's actually quite a smart move by them, because then they can set up BBC Studios, and then when the BBC does eventually collapse, and it will, they've got this separate entity that they can start up.
They should have done that years and decades ago.
Well, of course, but in the interim period, you've had suckers going, "Oh, I quite like EastEnders." Idiots.
Dino, I've got to just jump off quickly, and I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Just whenever you're ready. In fact, while you're Brad and Gaster's corner, how are you doing, my mellow man? You are wonderful, and thanks for coming on. You're always welcome to jump on at any time you want. I don't know if Leah's disappeared while I've been off. I've not been in chat for a bit. But if anyone's got Brad and Gaster's corner's channel link, that'd be great if you could put that up there, guys. He's a really mellow sound, homeless guy.
I heard you had him on the other night. Yeah, he seems nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. He was doing a live, and Indy was live, and we all spanned his chat with love and tips. And
he blew his mind.
He couldn't believe it. He got over 30 guys in his chat, and he couldn't speak. He was, you know what I mean? He couldn't get over it. Such a nice guy. So if anyone's got his, as to get Mark, I know you're there, and Cop Watcher 2, you just come backstage. I'm only allowed 6 people on, and it's really frustrating, this.
Well, shall I duck out then, Dino? Because I got some stuff to do. But it's always good chatting with you. I'll stay around and listen. I'll be around in the chat. But
thanks, Trevor.
Be great to see you again. There's a thing coming in London soon. I won't say the date, but I think you know. I think I might be there for that one.
Okay, but as always, keep in touch and keep
Oh,
you
yeah,
reminded of things, and
Thanks for your input.
No, you'll
Yeah.
you'll get loads more. You'll get loads more videos from me. Don't worry. And don't sub to my channel, whatever you do. In fact, delete it. In fact, report it. Report it. Report my channel. Have it taken down. I'm dying for something to happen. No controversy whatsoever on my channel. I'm thinking about doing auditing, but I don't know. I think that's been done,
Oh,
really.
come on,
Police
Trevor, you know
stations
you
and
can.
prisons.
You know
Well,
you can.
Well,
You know
if
you
if
can.
the powers that be get rid of the auditors, we'll need lots more.
Well, just quickly on that, it's over for auditing. It's toxic. The police hate it. It's getting negative responses from the media now. And as we've seen with a certain person, I don't want to say their name because I don't, their own family grasped them up to the police and have got social services involved. And he's about to start doing auditing from inside a prison. I guarantee it. I'm sorry to say it. It's horrible what's happened to him. Really horrible. But let's not forget, a family member stitched him up.
Right.
That is what's caused the major problem for him. Not the police, not any of us, his own family. And that's where it starts to get dodgy.
Would it have gone as far if he wasn't an auditor?
No, probably not. Probably not.
So it's still largely
The police don't want us to see what they're doing.
Look at Joe Public. He said fuck off, went to court for saying
Oh,
fuck
I
off,
know.
and
Poor
they take
Joe.
away his rights to film. So
I know. And now he's had to go to
about
Scotland.
the auditing, isn't it? It's always, it's always about the auditing now. I mean, we see other people who are getting stresses as well as the person you're mentioning as well.
Yes, it's a horrible situation, and it's horrible to see it happening. There's some fantastic people out there who are doing. I mean, Nanya, what he's doing is fantastic. But there's other ones out there that just seem to be poking a bear, and it's not really achieving anything apart from subs and likes, and then possibly buying a restaurant when they retire. Anyway, I'm out of here. Let somebody else come up. But I don't mean any disrespect to who I'm talking about, and I think you all know who I'm talking about. No disrespect whatsoever. But let's not forget, because people are getting het up about this, that it's the police that are attacking him. It's the police, it's the social services, and his own family. Don't forget that.
No, cheers, Trevor. Thanks, mate.
Night.
Have a good evening. I'll see you soon.
See you soon, Trevor. See you soon, mate. And thanks again. Mark, I can bring you on.
What time you on to tonight, Dino?
Not sure yet. It won't be a long one. It's normally averages, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours, but it won't be that tonight. I'm probably going to cap it about 1.
Okay, I'm going off to do what I was doing before coming back on. I just thought I'd pop on quickly to let you know I may be kicked off YouTube in the next day or 2.
You may get kicked off?
Yeah.
For what? Okay. Do you want to talk about it? Or?
No. I'm doing something because I believe what I'm doing is right.
All right.
Someone is on there being rude about certain people, so I'm telling them what I think of him.
Are you talking about now?
Yeah, no, I just come back on yours because I've just been booted out.
Oh, of someone else's.
Yeah.
Right, I'm with you now. Okay, fair enough. You don't have to name that channel.
You know who it is anyway.
Yeah, you don't have to name it. Like I say, drama, forget it. I'm not creating it.
No, I'm just saying in case you wonder why I'm not on next time you're on, to be on about reporting.
That's fine, mate. I'm aware of what's going on at this moment in time and that. So, yeah, no worries, mate. You just jump off when you feel like it. There's enough room for you to get back on and that. Who
They
else
won't
is
ban
there?
me for long, or would they, Dina?
Would they ban you for long?
Yeah.
They can keep you off the channel.
No, YouTube. Are you on about getting me banned from YouTube?
they can suspend you, or they'll just cancel your channel if you get 3 community strikes.
Yeah, I had a strike last week. That's for a week. The first
I had
one.
one as well, and it lasted for a week.
Medical misinformation, was it?
Yeah.
Medical
Isn't that beautiful?
misinformation.
I'll let you go anyway, Dino. I'm going back to give him some more shit if I can get back on.
Okay, then. I'll be here for a while. keep us updated if you like.
Okay, bye. You know me, Dino. I'm one of these. You mess with anyone I like, I go and give them Agboy back.
Go on, then. You listen to me, no drama, and I'm going, go on. Right, you didn't hear that.
So,
cheers, Ben.
hello,
Nice
Dino.
one. Scott, what are you doing there?
Yeah, good. Thanks. You? Well,
I'm not too bad, thank you. There's like 3 other people backstage as well. Oh, I can bring one more on for now. Who was next in line? Ryan Sharksack. Not sure about that.
How you going, Fluky?
Fluke. Ryan Sharksack, what do you think? Ryan Sharksack.
so how you been, though, Dino? All right.
I've been good, thanks, mate. Yeah, not been too busy because of that strike I've had. So, and it's just been pissing down a lot. So I've not got out that much.
No, I had a strike last week. So, and that was just all I done was put a video up of some sheep, and I'd said a few words.
Oh yeah, you said yeah. That is madness. That is.
I'll tell you what. I will. Obviously, I'm not going to post it on your channel. If you go on to my YouTube channel, in the banner, there's two Facebook pages. If you click on one, join it, and I'll put the video up on there, and you will see why I got the strike. I know why, but I'm not going to say too much about it. But it was a good, funny video. That was all it was for. Was just to be because my channel, I'm trying to keep it as a laugh and take it easy and things like that, but this one didn't work.
Sorry. Bit of humour always helps when you're trying to get a bit of information out. George Carlin was a good example of that.
Let's say hello to Mark.
Mark, I'm out.
Mark, my friend in New Zealand.
Hey, how you going, Blukey?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You?
Oh, a box of fluffy ducks this week, mate. Awesome.
Yeah, good. No, it's nice to see you on here, mate. Yeah. Mark is, if you don't, for the people in the chat that don't know, Mark was probably one of the very first auditors in New Zealand. And some of his early videos, I know he's gone down a kind of different rabbit hole, but he still does the audits. But some of his early videos were just absolutely fantastic, especially the audits he did and the stuff you did with the parking outside the courthouse and stuff like that. Fucking sensational. And this is the thing about auditing that people don't realize, because just to big Mark up over this, when he was down auditing the courthouse, he realized that there was some real serious parking issues outside the courthouse, and none of the markings in the road were legal. And he took it through the court system and got a load of people refunded their parking tickets, because all the parking markings on that road were illegal, because he went home after the audit, researched it all, and then got all these people their parking tickets refunded. Absolutely fantastic job. And that's part of auditing as well. It's about spotting when something goes wrong and exposing it.
Do the follow through as well. You've got to have follow through.
I bet you the government didn't like that part, did they? We'd have to give all the money back.
Oh no, Auckland Council hated having to refund
really,
700.
That would have really annoyed them.
Yeah, it did. And I warned them the whole time, don't take me through court or you'll lose. But they just, typical government mentality. They'll double down, triple down, just keep going for it, because they don't care. They've got unlimited funds and unlimited resources. And then little old me kicks their ass in court. So,
and they didn't like you then?
No, but I mean, as far as auditing, I am actually going to go back out and do some more. The reason why I give a good break between auditing is because over in New Zealand, harassment is any 2 or more times within 12 months. So as long as I stagger it out every 12 months or so and go back, they can't say I'm harassing any particular spot because I'm not doing 2 or more times within 12 months. So it's a good way to cover your ass. So they can't, throw something on you for harassing individuals.
And you know as well as everyone else, Mark, you have to cover your ass.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But knowledge is the key.
He's a top bloke. I've spoken to him on the phone. We've had a chats via, various social media platforms, and we've had, hours and hours of chats. And he's just a top bloke. And I don't know if you can share your YouTube page or whatever, and just get it up there, because I think you deserve the subscribers, mate, because you do the shit that other people, don't do. They don't follow up. They don't, brush through on their, or don't follow through on their beliefs. And I think that has to be done, because and it's people like you that do it. And I'd put you on par with like the Batuse in America. And he follows through on everything, every interaction he has. He puts in complaints, he puts in freedom of information requests, he does all of that stuff, and to drag out as much information out of the government, if you like, that he can, and post it and do the follow-ups, because that's important. It's massively important. And that's, I mean, part of what I do is not only do the audits and stuff, but I used to post stuff about the police talking bullshit, about you always photograph a railway station, you can't photograph here, you can't photograph there, and it's all bullshit. All of it's bullshit. Yeah. It's just they're enforcing people's feelings, not the law, and that's not the way. And the police in the UK swear an oath to be impartial, and they're not being impartial. They're just taking the side of whoever called. So if I'm on an audit and I call first saying I'm being harassed, are they going to defend me and not defend the person that wants to complain about me photographing in a public place? No, they're not going to do that.
No,
they're always going to, and that's not their job. Their job is to act impartially and under the law, right? And they're not doing it. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you can't do your job on such a basic level, you don't deserve to have that salary and a taxpayer-funded pension and all the other benefits that come with it. You don't deserve it, because you're not honouring your oath. You're not honouring and respecting the oath that you swore to uphold.
Well, here's a good example of that. I mean, July 26th, a couple of years ago. Remember, Fluke, we got assaulted by the New Zealand First crowd. And we were out there just filming their little, political party get together in public, and we let them have their say for 2 hours on their PA system. But our PA system just happened to be a little louder, so we just cranked up the volume. And once they finished having their say, we started up, and within 57 seconds, one of those New Zealand First boys charged us, broke the mic, assaulted 2 individuals, pushed over the PA system. But then he jumped on the phone first to the police. Shortly afterwards, I called the police as well, because I got assaulted. Right? Now, the cops come along. They weren't interested in anything that the second caller, me, had to say. In fact, I went round the back of the police station, which was ironically just a couple of 100 meters from where it happened, and they had all gathered, 5 of them sitting around there. And I says, "What are you guys doing? I've just been assaulted. Get round there. The guy's still here. I don't want him to run off." And they turned around and says, "Well, we're just trying to figure out how to deal with the protesters." Well,
Yeah, I remember watching that video, and it was just a shocking example of. I remember watching that video, and it was just a shocking example of how, dumb these people are, and how they can't even follow the law themselves. I mean, this is supposed to be law enforcement, and you can't even follow the law. I mean, what sort of fucking, which point are people not going to wake up and smell the coffee and go, right, hang on, these guys aren't doing their job. We pay them to do their fucking job, and they can't do it. You know.
I have this argument all the time, trying to explain to people what auditing is, and then I point out some fact that a police officer has broken the law there and their own rules, and they just seem to shrug it off. How do these people do it? I don't know how they seem to not accept that. How?
It's because their
What kind of
morals and their ethics are askew. You know,
well, yeah, you're right there. We do live in this like pretty sadistically, evilly twisted fucking world. Yeah, don't we?
And as Luke was saying before, it's fear-based mentality, divide and conquer, keep them fighting amongst themselves while we do as we please at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
So,
Dino, just quickly, I don't know if you want me to cover this now or maybe later, but you know, I was talking to you about earlier on the phone with regards to some of the research
Susie,
that I did.
Mitchie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about,
if you want to bring the Susan Mitchie.
Yeah.
I've just noticed on YouTube there that Marcy Blackburn, you know Marcy Blackburn, I'm sure everybody does. I mean, he's in the car with you know, the large guy. I forget his name. And Live Free and a couple of others. And some troll has gone and threatened their kids. So they've driven round to this troll's house that they believe and are saying, you know, in a not so direct manner, watch it or else. And I'm sitting there thinking, guys, you're feeding the trolls and you're going to get yourself in trouble, because what you're doing is starting to amount to almost stalking if you're going around to people's private residential addresses. You know, it's trolls will say things to get bites, but the fact is they're going around now, they're going to get themselves in trouble very shortly, I reckon, because you do not show up at individuals' houses, you know, retaliating for something that was said online. I mean, how many times have you seen online where cops have gone round because someone said something online and the cops are going around there to be the behavioural police, you know, or the the free speech police, and they'll come around and say, oh, you can't do that online. You know, but these guys are taking the matters into their own hands. And
they're the feelings police. You've hurt people's feelings.
Feelings police. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the pre-crime police now, of course, don't forget. It's turning into pre-crime. I believe you're here with intent to do something terroristic like, even though I can only see you've got a camera. They must be psychic.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you
think
can say all that
you've
shit,
got to
mate.
be
Did you
careful
believe in
because
unicorns last week flying across, you know, Big Ben? You can believe whatever you like.
this is the problem with that sort of thing, and I'm not saying whether, you know, Marty was right or wrong to do what he did, but the thing is, if you feed these people, they're gonna use the law against you. They're gonna say you're harassing me. They're gonna phone the police first, and what do the police do? Whoever calls them first is obviously right until the other person proves themselves innocent. That's the situation you're going to get yourself into. And how he's even going down that route, I'll never know. Because if you've got any intelligence, you wouldn't do that. You know, call them out online. You know, post the links to their videos or whatever.
Well, they're all in the car sitting there, you know.
And you go out and do that, and you do it, and you live stream yourself doing it as well. I mean, what sort of idiot are you?
I thought it's situations like that and a lot less. It should be done privately.
Well,
you know, and if anything, if you feel like you're being,
I mean, look over here with the guy that did the live stream.
You know, if you're going to do that, then at least use
I was
the
just
law
going to
to
say,
your
look over here in Christchurch where the guy did the live stream. Sorry, I think there's a delay thing, Luke.
Yeah, it's okay, mate.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah.
And this is the thing with that is either use the law to benefit you, or you know, you can use your own actions that are just going to affect you anyway. You know, because by going around some troll's house and harassing him or sticking a camera in his house or whatever, or recording the whole thing, is just going to prove that you've gone down there for surreptitious reasons, for whatever reason that is. because the
You're just
troll is
feeding
just
them
going to call the police because he's a bootlicker. And what's going to happen? The police are going to turn up and they're going to accuse you of being the wrong person. You know, it's the stupidest thing to do ever. You know, if just call them out online, call them out as trolls or whatever, or in your live streams or whatever they are, like Crinkle is. You know, call them out for what they are. They're stupid, idiot people, and they deserve to be called out. You know, but going around to their house and stuff like that ain't a good idea by a long shot. Because you're going to be called out as the person doing the wrong thing.
I mean, I had a guy come around. Exactly. I had a guy come around here a few years back because I was driving home late one night and I captured this fucking 4x4 coming round through the lights, did a huge wheelie as it's coming through this intersection right over to the other side of the road, and then powered off up the road, slammed his brakes on a green light, and then took off into a car park. Well, I gave him the Asshole of the Week award, which I do to some drivers, and I posted him up online. Next thing you know, the guy's coming around to my house saying, "Oh, well, my mate was threatening to commit suicide, and I just left the pub, and I was in a rush to go and help down," sort of thing. And I said, "Mate, there's ways of doing it. You put a complaint to YouTube. You don't come around to my house where my kids are and start making threats." Yeah. So I ended up reporting him to the police, got him trespassed, did it the legal way. You know, don't take matters into my own hands. I let the idiot do what he liked, and my cameras were always running. I recorded the whole thing, and then he still tried to catch me one other time along the road. I left him in dust. So yeah, you don't feed the trolls. That's all I can say, because you're just giving them energy, more and more energy.
Yeah, and this is, you know, this is the thing, is it's kind of, and they're put in place, and a lot of these people, you know, their backgrounds are going to be dubious, government related, you know, that type of thing. You know, they're put in place for a reason. This is why you get people trolling channels left, right, and Chelsea, bots doing God knows what. You know, you can't trust anything. You know. And at the end of the day, just keep yourself legal. Don't go and do anything illegal just because you want to expose somebody. If I want to expose somebody, I'll do a live stream and I'll expose them. You know, I'll get the information, I'll gather it, and I'll disseminate it because that's my right to do so. You do it in the right way, and that way, legally, they can't touch you. You know, as you know, as I'm going to do in a minute with some of these muppets that I've got on my my tabs here. If you want me to go into it, Dino, I will do. But it goes back to the COVID thing to a certain degree. But it is worth showing people, because this is could be a 10-minute segment that somebody can copy and post and share. That's very simple, you know.
Mickey Mouse, sorry guys, Mickey Mouse, thanks so much for that. It means a lot. It does all go towards my travels, etc. So thanks again, Mickey Mouse, for chipping in. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. It's nice to get that support. Even a little bit helps, I find. I have a couple of people that donate on a regular basis, and it just makes it easier to get out there and do what you do. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mark. And I don't work. The only work I do is YouTube, and it's not easy, and things like that. But just because I'm not got a proper job, if you like, you know. I get a lot of flack
I've got
for
the
that.
best job in the world, mate. I'm a house husband and a father. That's the best job of the world, and I don't care if I get paid for it.
If only these people could come out of their own arseholes and realise that their job, if you like, this tax-paying system thing,
You're a
if
tax
they're
slave.
doing that rather than going out there trying to expose truth and trying to wake people up, for God's sake, which isn't easy, as we know. It's very mentally draining. And there's a lot of travel and all that's involved and everything, filming, editing, things like it's a full-time frigging job. So yeah, every penny helps. I get flack. Why do you monetize? Why do you? Because don't forget, YouTube take 30% of anything from a super chat donation and things like that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I don't monetize at all.
But yeah, it does help. It really does. That's why I've been going to London more regular.
Yeah.
Since I've been
Yeah, I
getting a
actually
few
regret monetizing my channel, because I did an audit at a prison down in Kent, and I got no interactions, nothing, but I still posted the video because it was a pass kind of thing. And it cost me about £30 in fuel to go down there, plus I had to pay for parking. And by the time I bought, a sandwich and a Tesco fucking meal deal or whatever, and blah blah blah, and drove home that day, it cost me the whole of my day off, and it cost me at least 30 quid to do that audit. And I earned a princely sum of £1.25 from YouTube. The last time I got a payout from YouTube was last September, nearly a year ago, and I got £72 for the year. And it's like, well, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have bothered monetizing, because it was. And I thought even if I did monetize, if it just paid for the audits, like the fuel, that'd be great because I'm not shelling out of my own pocket, and it didn't even do that. It just didn't even do that.
Yeah.
So I look back and I think to myself, I actually regret monetizing my channel.
Some people actually think that you're actually raking it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Good
just
fucking luck.
well,
I mean,
Good fucking luck raking it in from Google. Google's raking it in, but you ain't.
I don't monetize my channel at all. I actually asked a few years back, bro. I actually asked YouTube and tried monetizing. It took them 7 months to get back to me to tell me that my channel wasn't suitable for monetization because there's too much stuff there that's not good for kids and stuff. So, I mean, I don't monetization. It's just it's. If I put in my description my bank account. If people want to put money in, much appreciated. But I never ask for anything, and therefore whatever I get, I'm very grateful for. It's the best way to live.
Yeah.
Don't expect nothing, and therefore you don't get any disappointment.
I'm the same, Mark. I never even said like, subscribe. I never even said that. I mean, some of my mods say it from it, but that's not the reason why I don't say it. It's just something I don't ask for. But when you get a couple of quid, it's all used for what I do. It's as simple as that. There's a question on screen, guys. What do you make of
Sorry,
that?
I got a dose of the COVID then.
I can say something about that on screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it seems because in other places in the world, photography auditing has been ahead of us, definitely by quite many years. It takes quite a lot of time to actually filter through to get some kind of material changes made. And those material changes are hopefully some slow learning by police and officials about photography. And that was that's one of the things, but also the popularity of auditing being increased over all these years is definitely a massive material important achievement.
Yeah, well, it's showing people are taking in what other people are doing, and a good thing doesn't. If you want change to happen, if it's a good thing, it'll happen naturally. Change shouldn't have to be forced. And as far as material change is concerned, I've had police stations re-educated on photography. My videos are being used by them for training purposes, and there are a few more people in New Zealand here picking up the cameras and going out and doing the same thing. And it's all for your safety and security. Why we record 90% of the time.
I call it a public service.
Exactly. That's actually. I got passed by a guy in a car because I often see speed cameras and go and put signs at either end of where the speed camera is. And I was actually collecting my signs at the end of the day after the speed camera left, and a guy drove past and said, "Great public service." So that's exactly right. You're doing it for the greater good. So yeah, there's definitely material change.
I think the other thing is this is what a lot of people don't understand is when it comes to audits and things like that, is the fact that the police were given, you know, this was ruled on by the European Court of Human Rights after Liberty took up a campaign against police harassing photographers in London under terrorism legislation, this famous Section 44 of the Terrorism Act, where they had
Yeah,
to
they got repealed.
search you and harass you just because they thought that because you had a camera you might be a terrorist. You know, this is bullshit. It was a direct attack on your freedom of speech and your freedom to gather and disseminate information. That was the agenda. And the agenda hasn't changed, because here we are 10 years later and they're still doing the same thing, because the agenda is the agenda. It doesn't matter
Except
about
they're
what
doing it
rules
quite a
and
bit
what, you know,
worse now in a
Andrew
way.
Trotter put this into place, and they gave this guidance on public photography and that guidance on public photography, and they put out another one this year which is guidance on public photography, which is exactly the same guidance as they had 10 years ago, and they're still not following that either. You know, it's like that is not the point. The point is to
They
address
can't follow anything.
the point is to address the agenda, and the agenda is to take away your rights to freedom of speech, your right to freedom to gather and disseminate information. That's what it's about. The agenda's the same, and that's why you're still getting the same reaction by the same police
And it's all,
force.
don't forget, it's also the control of the information. They're quite happy to record us everywhere, all day, every day, but they control the information.
Yeah,
that's why they're so scared of video cameras.
They
because
don't
that's
want
a gathering of impartial
to
information that they can't control. You know, so
exactly
the narrative is hard to control if other people have record.
Which is one of the most important things about auditing. That it doesn't allow them to do that. I mean, it doesn't stop them from doing what they did to Joe in court, which was Joe Public. That was like he basically explained that they showed some of his video, which was not a problem, not him doing anything wrong, just doing recording of the police, and they used that in evidence, and there was no evidence as such in those videos, but I think they were just kind of saying the video itself.
No, but this is the thing. The thing is like after they repealed the Section 44 of the Terrorism Act, they brought in Section 3, which means the police had to have a reasonable suspicion that you were a terrorist. They had to have intelligence on you to say, right, I think this bloke's is a terrorist because he might have X, Y, Z in his backpack, or this, that, and the other, or something on his possession that would prove their reasonable suspicion. And that didn't happen. All they did was went and abused Section 43. Just like they abuse Section 44, and that's government for you. Government just abuses your rights. They don't give a flying fuck about your rights. And here we are, 11 years after Section 44 was repealed, and they're still doing the same thing again, because that's the agenda. They've
just renamed it, haven't they?
You know, they might as well have just called it "We're going to abuse your rights Act." You know, Section 44, we're going to abuse your rights act, because it doesn't matter what the European fucking government says or the European
police are not the only ones who are abusing rights now.
They don't give a shit in the basis that the agenda, like I said before, on all of this stuff, whether it was COVID or whether it was terrorism, whether it was photography or whatever it is, the agenda is already in place. Now they have to find the right people to force through the agenda that they want. And whether it's Boris Johnson or Jeremy Corbyn or whatever political puppet they put in your face, it doesn't matter. The agenda is the agenda.
Stays the same, guys. Ryan Sharksack, do you want to come on? Fluke.
Oh, sorry. Were you talking to me?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Hello there. Oh. Hello? Am I on?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Nice one. What's happening, lads?
Crinkle, fuck off, you fucking prick.
Gino, just a quick one before I go to bed.
Okay, mate.
Actually, he let me on and visit whatever, like his team yard, and I ended up telling him what I thought of it, and he couldn't hear me. He just didn't like it, so he kicked me out.
Again?
Yeah, so I managed to get back in, but I told him what I thought of him, and he kicked me off in about 30 seconds.
Just while you're on that point, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the chat. I don't want any drama in the chat, and we don't need to mention that other channel or what's being said. I'm quite aware of what's going on, believe me, and I don't want it to spoil. No, it's fine. But it's just the chat as well, so I don't want anything to spoil this live or anything like that. So, like I keep saying, just keep the drama out of the chat, guys. Simple as that.
No, I've calmed down now, Dino.
No, it's fine. D-Fuzz, I don't know. I'm not going to bring you on, okay? Unless you show your face, I'm not going to. Unless I know who it is, I'm not going to bring you on. Simple as that. Are you doing London City events? The Jimmy O show, but you all look like you want fumigating, so I will say bye-bye to you. TJ, I believe only firearm officers should have powers to search and arrest under the Terrorism Act because a taser is useless against a gun or a bomb.
Yeah, and you have to have reasonable suspicion that somebody's got a gun or a bomb. You know, the job of the police is dangerous, and they know when they sign up for that job that it's a dangerous job. So don't be pussyfooting around about the details here.
Don't they have to have?
Can I point out a detail?
Does that reasonable suspicion? Say again?
Possibly, they might do. Have to.
Yeah, I thought they was meant to have, like, they had to have so much intel on you, information and that, but with a photograph to actually make that arrest, which comes under that reasonable suspicion thing.
The thing is, though,
I'm up to bed, mate.
Okay, mate. See you later, Ben. I'll see you next time, right?
Yeah, I will. Bye.
Nice one.
Nobody seems to mention this much, but I believe that the procedure, the police procedure, when they think there is a terrorist outside, so they actually really, have reasonable suspicion of a suspect of terrorism outside their police station, they are supposed to contact the anti-terrorism division, aren't they? And they're not supposed to touch it at all. They're just supposed to surveil what's going on.
No, that's to do with security guards. Security guards, as you've seen a million videos, is security guards come out and do everything completely against their training. I've got their PDF training manuals downloaded, and I've been through them, and it specifically says on Serco, G4S, and all the other security, it's exactly verbatim the same. You're supposed to, if you think somebody's taking pictures of a property that you're guarding, right? Right? A time and date when that person was there filming, and report it to your security manager. That's it. That's your job. That's all you've got to do.
Yeah,
and how many times have you seen videos where security guards come out, harass photographers, try to take the cameras, tell them you can't film, and do all the bullshit they're not supposed to do, and they don't follow one piece of their training because you've got to see something, say something mentality drilled into the public by fear over terrorism, that people act like that they're policing us. We've got members of security staff or even members of the public in such fear that they start policing us. We start policing ourselves. This is Stasi Nazi Germany stuff. This is what they're doing. It's no different. I could go on and on and on about this stuff.
Aren't we trying to police the police as well, though?
Well, we have to. Someone's got to police the police, because otherwise the police will just police themselves and find themselves not guilty.
We should be policing the government now.
You know, it's
And
a
I don't think it's
difficult
as
thing.
easy as just shoving a camera in a politician's face, unfortunately.
Well, okay,
Although we could
I'm
start there.
not advocating shoving a camera in anybody's face. I
No,
wouldn't want a camera
I'm just
shoved in
going
my
with.
face.
I'm
So
just going the way that everyone always says what
what I'm
people with
saying is
cameras do.
people need to realise the government isn't there to protect you. The government is there to force an agenda through using fear, publicity, emotionalism, lies, and all the other things. That's what they're there to do. They are the salesman for the agenda. The agenda is already set. The agenda is they don't want anybody with any rights, no freedom of speech, no freedom of demonstration, no freedom to gather and disseminate information unless it's the information the government want you to fucking spread, which is like the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, CNN, Fox News, and all the rest of them. You know, that's the agenda. The agenda is to limit the amount of information that gets out to the general public. Therefore, that's why they want to shut us down, so that we can't, you know, disseminate the information we want to disseminate, because we've got a right to disseminate it, and they want to take that right away from us. Yeah.
News
So,
is saying that when it comes to SIA training, it does say for them to approach. So I don't know what point you made before he put that comment in. It went
sorry,
on
what
from
was it?
police to security. When you went from police to security,
Yeah.
under the terrorism thing. So apparently they are allowed to approach security.
Yeah, approach is one thing, but grabbing people's cameras and physically assaulting them isn't in there. It doesn't say, oh, if you see somebody filming outside of a property that you're guarding, you're allowed to go out there and grab their cameras and get in their face. And where does it say in the manual that they can do that? It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that because it's not legal. It's absolutely illegal. And they know the reason that legislation was put in place and the reason that training manual was put in place is to protect our rights. And that's what we do when we go out and audit, is to test that they're going to fucking, you know, respect our rights, not abuse them and try and take my camera off me or try and shut my camera down or tell me to shut my camera off. That none of that says it, and none of that says in their training to do. It's bullshit.
Just hold on a sec, mate. Just hold on a sec. I'm sorry. I just have to address a few things. If you don't agree with Luke, or like you said, well, he's 34, he bores you. Simple as that. Mate. A lot of people Luke speaks, all right. Swift and bold, you keep mentioning a certain subject which is brought up all night. I have expected it since I learned someone else has gone live on that. I keep saying no drama. You're wanting to keep asking questions about it. I'm doing my own live at the minute with a different guests, okay? We don't want that. I'm not here. My Friday night is not about it's not going to be about tonight talking about what someone else is talking about me and throwing accusations about me and things like that. Okay, I don't care. Okay, I know I've done nothing wrong and blah blah blah. And the guy's a drama queen. That's all I can say. Is my sound crap or something? People are saying my sound's playing up. Let me just unmute you. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Is my all right, Fluke?
It went a bit strange for a sec. Sorry.
Yeah, it went a bit funny for a minute or two, but that's fine.
Right. Is it okay now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
What did you ask me? Right. Let me try and get this over with. Swift and bold. You've asked me once, and I've ignored. That's what I do sometimes. I try and ignore things when it comes to drama. So what have I ignored? Come on, ask me the question now. Fluke needs some opposition, does he, Wallace? He's got plenty opposition. Plenty opposition.
Bring the opposition on. Bring the opposition on. I don't care, because I will answer every question fired at me about it.
Anybody wants to debate in a mature, intelligent manner, please come on and do so. If you want to come on and start trying to slanging match and trying to put people down, slagging people, then forget it.
Dino, this is the thing with people. People say shit in the chat like that, but they ain't got the balls to come on and debate me. You know,
Right,
and
we're in Shark
if
Shack,
they ain't got the
right?
balls to come and
You
debate
Shark
me,
Shack,
then
right, okay? I'm not afraid of anything, mate, Ryan. Okay? Just give me 1 sec, Ryan. You will be mature, will you? If he's so correct, let him humiliate me. So, Crinkle, come on, Dino, I thought you was a fair man. I am a fair man, okay? I'll tell you what then. You've got 30 seconds, mate, to make an impression, how mature you are and what you want to talk about. Let's see what you've got.
Okay. Right.
Bear with
Flu,
it.
all I want to ask, all right, is all these views you've got, I want to ask you what your answer to all these problems that you think's going on in the world is. It seems to me that you are against government and you are against big corporations, right? So if you're against government, that's kind of what communists like. And if you're against, if you're against big corporations, that's what communists like. And if you're against government, then what do we have left? And what is your solution? If you got rid of both of those things that you seem so opposed to, what's your solution?
right.
If you can't have a
is
government or big corporations, because to me, the only ones that can challenge big corporations are governments. That's it. That's my question. What's your solution? And let's not attack each other. Let's answer
right.
each other's questions. Yeah.
The thing is, Crinkle, you ask the most benign question in the sense that you think I'm going to come out with a silver bullet answer to that question. And there isn't a silver bullet answer to that question. There's a multitude of things that need to be addressed and that people need to wake up to. The corruption in government, the corruption in corporation, the corruption in central banking system, the corruption in the private prison system, the corruption in the military industrial complex. All of that needs to be addressed. There isn't one silver bullet, because what you're trying to do, Crinkle, and I know what you're trying to do, you're trying to put me on the spot so I can come up with one simple answer in 10 seconds that answers the question that you just asked. And that's an impossible question to answer. And you know as well as I do, it's an impossible question to answer, because there is no silver bullet. It takes multiple silver bullets to address all of those problems, right? Until you can get it through your head that there's multiple layers of this corruption that needs to be addressed, and people need to understand that. What we need to do is get the message out that people understand that there's multi levels of this corruption, and we all have to fight all of those levels of corruption. There is not one silver bullet that's going to answer the question. And by asking me that question proves to me that you are trying to undermine me by whatever means you can, because you want me to give you an answer to a silver bullet question, right, that's been going on for 2,000 years, right? And there ain't a simple answer to that.
Well, no, that's not quite correct. You're
Oh, it's not quite correct. There we go. Thank you very much. You just answered the question for me. Thank you, Crinkle.
Luke, what I'm asking you is basically what would your utopian world look like? Simple as that. What would your ideal world look like? And you can start anywhere. You can start with government, law and order. What do you do with murderers? What do you do with people who want to rape other people? What do you do with commodities? How do people exchange goods? How does a technological society run itself under, explain your utopian society.
No, this is what you do, Crinkle. This is what you do. This is what you do.
Yeah, but
It's a blah, 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 blah.
We've heard your complaints, yeah, about what you think's wrong with things a million times. You don't have to say it every single week. I want to know what your ideal.
Do you want me to respond, or do you want to just
society
keep
looks
talking,
like.
Crinkle? You fucking prick. Listen to me.
See,
I've told you this
personal
on
attacks.
multiple live streams, on multiple times over the last 18 months. There is no magic bullet. You're asking me for a magic bullet response and some sort of solve all problem to all of the world's nations around the world. The global conspiracy about locking people up for private corporations to make money off of people in prison and make money out of the military industrial complex, firing missiles left, right and Chelsea, and creating wars and dramas all around the world so very few people can make a shitload of money, right? Now, there isn't a silver bullet answer to that question, and you know there's not a silver bullet answer to that question, right?
Okay,
and the reason you ask that question is because you know there isn't an answer to it. There's not a simple. I can't listen. Shut the fuck up. There's not one. I could spend the next 10 minutes, right, on this live stream, and I could not possibly answer your question, and you know I can't. Because it's multi-layered. It's a multi-layered question, and we could spend the next 3 days on a live stream to try and answer that, or try and even approach answering that question. And you know it, Crinkle, and that's why you always ask the same question, and you've asked the same question for the last 18 months. And the reason you keep asking it is because you're controlled opposition, you're 77th Brigade, you're a fucking shill. You're a shill and you're a fucking piece of shit. And that's why you never fucking answer shit, because you ain't got the answers yourself. You ask me for answers and then try and disparage me. Yeah, because you're a fucking shill cunt.
I'll tell you what my answer is to that. I think, well, what I think you think is that anarchy is the answer. And I agree. Yeah? But you don't want to admit it.
You don't know what anarchy is.
Yes, I do.
Define anarchism.
I'm an anarcho syndicalist. I agree with Noam Chomsky and on all that he thinks should replace what we've got. But he's got the bollocks to fucking say what he wants and what he thinks.
Noam Chomsky is a fucking banker bought puppet, you fucking idiot.
Banker bought puppet is been.
Who do you think's financed Who do you think financed fucking Noam Chomsky? You fucking idiot! Get it down to the bare bones, you dickhead. This guy don't know shit. I don't mind having a fucking straight debate with people, but Dino, you're muted.
Dino, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Oops.
Can you mute off? There we go.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to get rid because I think sometimes Fluke needs to calm down.
These people do so little research.
Whatever.
These people do so little research. He's always going on about Noam Chomsky, and Noam Chomsky was financed by the banking cartel.
Fluke, please, Fluke. He's gone. Forget it. You can stay backstage all you want, mate, but you're not coming back on. So you may as well go.
Can I say something about that guy who joined?
Fire away.
Okay, that guy who joined. I'd seen him before on another live, yeah. And it's the same thing. He's just like twisting the point of what we're saying into his own stupid little reality to make it sound stupid. I think he just sounds stupid doing it
because it fits his narrative.
It looks like he knows a trigger point for Fluke, though.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to call him out for it because the thing is, Dino, I said this to Mike today on the phone. We had a discussion about his 28 sock puppets accounts and all this shit that he goes on about. And I said to him, this is the thing. It's like he can't beat me in a debate, so he has to just come out with nonsensical bollocks about the silver bullet answer to all the world's problems, as if I'm going to be able to answer that in 5 minutes flat. And he knows I can't do that because it's such a massive problem, you know.
The whole anarchy thing that he
that's
brought
the
up as
reason
well.
he asks me that question time and time and time again. The reason he asks that question is because he knows it's an unanswerable question. Whether I can't answer it, or whether Mark can't answer it, whether Dino can't answer it, or whether Civil Disobedience can't answer it, or whether Joe Blogs down the street can't answer it. He knows it's an unanswerable question, and that's why he keeps asking it, because he knows it's unanswerable. You know, it's a multifaceted, multi-layered problem that we need to get into the sheep's head. That's what we need to get it into, because it's all well and good me standing here talking about it, and Mark and yourself and everybody else in the chat and blah blah blah. You know, we need to get this into the sheeple's head. That's my point. Is people need to wake up on a massive scale, because if that doesn't happen, we ain't going to solve the problem. And he avoids that question all the time because he doesn't understand the concept. And the concept is he wants silver bullet answers to silver bullet questions, and he ain't going to get them. Not from me, not from anybody else.
What you got to remember is throughout the media in our history, and certainly in people's jobs that have any importance to the social aspects of life, those people usually have the answers. And so, you know, there's a lot of people out there with his mindset, whether he's doing whatever he's doing as some kind of joke or, you know, troll shit, I don't care. But like, there are a lot of people out there who are confused like that, you know?
Yeah,
and then if you haven't got the answer, then they're not going to listen to you.
Right,
that's right. He doesn't want to hear any answers.
But that's the point. The point is, he doesn't want to listen to any answers. You know,
Yeah,
he doesn't
you're right.
even want to address the fundamental problems. Now, if you don't want to address the fundamental problems in societies, you're never going to find the answers to those problems. So for him to question me about what my answers are to the problems that he doesn't even understand doesn't make any sense.
Yep, I agree.
Fluke, 1 minute there. Sorry, Fluke. Wallace 34. Forget it. Stop trying to instigate shit. He's not coming back on. Fluke's not scared from him, by him at all. And like we've just said, he doesn't want to hear any answers. Simple as that. You're still lingering backstage, mate, but you're not getting on. It's as simple as that. So stop. No drama in the chat. Next one, Wallace, and you're gone. Okay. So I'll just unmute Luke because, you know, he gets a bit passionate sometimes, guys. Can deal with it. Simple as.
Yeah, and a lot of people,
Sorry,
a lot
mate.
of people actually will, a lot of people will recognise that as perhaps Fluke getting angry, and it's not anger, it's passion. You know, because
Passion.
yeah, you've dealt with it for so fucking long that when you still strike someone that's just still sitting there going bar and chewing the grass and not giving a shit about the paddock, you know, then you're in a lost hope. But it's the old, you cannot force that horse to drink the water.
Exactly.
Even if it's going to die.
It's the old saying, isn't it, Mike? You can take the horse to walk, you can't force it to drink. I've tried to wake up members of my family. They think I'm crazy.
I've shown so many people the door, they just will not open it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I've said this to members of my family for like 10 fucking years. You know, we are going into a dystopian fucking nightmare, and if we don't fucking wake the fuck up, we're going to end up in one before we even realise it. And if we do realise it, it's too fucking late, right? And here we are. And now I've got members of my family going, oh, you might have a point there. Well, I've had the same point for the last 10 years, but nobody listens to me because I was a crackpot.
Yeah, I had that feeling the other day, you know, with my family, and none of them really are listening to me. But when I do have a point, it doesn't go anywhere, unfortunately, because they're too trained and scared, I think, of what the reality is.
Yeah, but you'll find, as Fluke says, over some length of time, everybody has different processing speeds. I like to think of everybody's brain as a different processor. And, you know, we're probably up to the i7, i9 type processors, but some people are still in the 286, 386, 486. some people on a ZX Spectrum 81 for an Amstrad or a Commodore 64 type processing,
VIC
it
20.
takes them a lot longer.
Dragon
It's like
32.
if I ask my wife a question, she will not ever give me an answer straight away. She has to think about it before she gives me an answer.
Well,
So I'll ask her a question, go and do something for 20 minutes, and then come back for the answer.
well, that guy was on a. That guy was
Sorry,
on a.
mate, I just brought. How you doing, mate? I was just going to introduce you on.
How's it going, Daniel? Thanks for letting me jump in. I've been watching you for quite a while, so thanks for letting me jump in.
Cheers, mate. No worries.
But
How you doing?
yeah, I'm good. I think that Mark was on about ZX Spectrum. I think that guy, the fluke, was having a debate with on the fucking abacus.
Yeah. Just a bag of rocks.
Britain Audits, you've been on for a few minutes. I've not heard you
Yeah,
speak
I
yet.
did say. I did say hello, mate, but I think my mic was off.
You know
It
what
took
the
me a minute to
conversation's
realise.
been like, and
Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
mean to
it's
cut
good,
across.
mate. It's good.
I've just got to pop off for 1 minute, Dino. Sorry.
It's okay. No worries. There's no
But
one
yeah,
else
no,
back.
thanks, Dino.
Yeah, no worries. Good to have you on there.
Yeah, I've been watching for a while, mate. It's been quite an interesting night, actually, hasn't it?
It normally, it gets better, actually. I'm not trying to. It just used to get better. This week is obviously right. There's been loads of stuff going on, and I'm trying to soak everything in and deal with stuff at the side of me and stuff in the chat and that. But
Take lots of magnesium and zinc. It's always good. Helps the brain fire.
yeah, absolutely. But
That's right.
I'm not giving you the drama that you want. Some of you guys in the chat, I know what you want, okay, and you're not going to get it. It's as simple as that. And you can try and wind. Yeah, Fluke does get wound up. Stop trying to play on his feelings. He's a passionate guy who means well. Okay, he's out there for the truth. You know that word, truth.
Yeah, he wears his heart on his sleeve.
I know, if you don't want, it's a case. If you don't want to hear it, just go back and watch the BBC or something. Like, maybe don't come on to Dino's live. Like, I don't know. Like, why are you here?
people like that here?
Yeah,
my question.
exactly.
34. Okay, you keep trying, mate. Okay. He's not coming back on. If you put one more negative comment in the chat, you're gone. It's as simple as that, though. You're trying to instigate drama. Okay, I'm giving you a little bit now. What do you mean, why not? Because I've explained many times, I don't want drama in my chat or on the panel. I don't mind debates, strong debates and things like that. Yeah, let's go for it. And things like this. This is why I have Fluke on and Mark and people like that on. Do you know what I mean? Let's go for it. But I don't want any frigging drama, and I don't want other people's channels mentioned that I've got something to do with maybe an argument that involves me or people who surround me and I surround them with. So, Wallace, one more and you're gone. Apart from that, anyone else new who's joined, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Okay. There's 118 in the chat, and I've got Mark on, JB, and Britain Audits, and SG, who's been on for a while as well. So please pay your respects to these fellas, all right? Everyone's got a different opinion, different thought process, different beliefs. We all do go about our lives differently. But we need to build a community and not, not try and divide each other. That's the whole thing behind a lot of things. We've been talking about control, division, fear, and things like that. And some of you in the chat, and you will agree with that, but yet at the same time, try and cause division in the chat and drama in the chat and things like that. So don't be an hypocrite. Don't contradict yourselves. Let's just crack on. Let's have a debate. Let's have a good chat and a laugh like we do. And cut this shit out about a certain person who's been throwing accusations and crap at myself and other people who I'm involved with. You're not going to get it out of us tonight, so forget it. Go away, and if you think anyone's boring, don't watch. Simple as that. I just thought I'd update on that just because of what I've been reading in the chat and things like that. So
no, thanks, Dina.
No worries. But yeah. Cheers for coming on, guys. So anybody got Lee? Have you got Burbritain and JB's channel links? Anybody? If you could.
Yeah, could someone put Mark's up for me as well, please?
Mark's has been up there a couple of times, but yeah, bang them in there, guys. Like
Yeah,
you
bang
do.
Mark's in. I don't
Yeah,
follow of Mark's, but if not, I'll give him a follow. No problem.
This is what I mean. This is what it's about, you know.
It's about getting together, you know, even though we got different beliefs. You know, we are different people, but there's one common theme that runs through this. So that's why we're here tonight, you know?
Absolutely, and it's sorting out differences and things like that. But some people don't want that, do they? They just
No.
they want massive gaps between us, like that division thing again.
Well, they want the drama, don't they? They want the drama, Dino. You know, that's what they want. They want the drama.
Not on here. Sharing is caring, Steve G. Absolutely, definitely, yeah. We don't have to agree. We don't have to like. But there's people I don't like. I still respect them to a certain degree. But, you know, I've no hate in me or anything like that. I'd rather just get on with things and not linger with people who are not important to me or who try and cause trouble and that. What's the point? If someone doesn't matter to me, then it doesn't bother me, type of thing. If it's someone who matters to me, who I love, or a great friend or whatever, then that would bother me. But
Dino, I think the way that I see it, if you are reacting to somebody's opinion, then no disrespect, whoever it is, they need to work on themselves because that's their opinion, right? Why get upset about somebody else's opinion? You know, opinions like assholes. Yeah. Everybody's got one, you know?
Yeah, correct.
Shit comes out of them as well. Opinions and ourselves.
Yeah, of course, you know.
That's two other guys. I've 6 on guys. You guys backstage, John and Random. Don't know who you are. No picture and all that. Crinkle, you still there, mate? You're not coming on. What's the point? Okay, I've had a piece signed for by Random, which I think could be Trevor. But I've 6 on Trevor at the minute. Are you all right for hanging on for a few minutes? Yeah? Is that nice one?
If you want me to jump off, I can jump off.
You can stay on for 5-10 minutes, whatever, mate. It's fine. Just
it's up to
carry
you,
on,
you know.
All right. No, you have your say, mate. If you want to say something, your channel links just come as well.
Yeah.
So there it is. Claire's put that up, guys. So,
yeah, thank you, Claire.
So yeah, what do you think about what's been said tonight? I mean, Fluke raises some massive points, I think, and you know, rather than argue about it, let's talk about it. So yeah, I know I've just got a message off StreamYard.
Yeah, but it's just, you know, I'm like, you know, to this community, I'm quite new, right? I started my channel on the 25th of last month. I got 600 subscribers already. Right.
Wow. That's pretty good guy, right?
You know, but it's. I think that, you know, I'm quite old school. I come from, you know, the fact that, you know, I don't know. It's just crazy, right? Over the last 2 years, the push for power for the government to control us is absolutely bonkers. Personally, I believe they want the government want us to rely on them, because when we rely on them, they can control us. You know, they want to control our health. They want to control the money that we actually can use. That's why they're trying to bring this Britcoin, not Bit, but Britcoin into effect, because they want us to rely on them. They want to control us. I really believe that, and I know it sounds paranoid, but it's becoming more rampant now. You know, it's totally crazy. Over the last 2 years, it's absolute bonkers.
You are damn right. It's really pulling out. They're really pulling out all the stops now, aren't they? Yeah. You know, they're really ramping the volume up and the voltage and the pressure and the bullshit and the spin doctrine.
And the thing is, it's so blatant now. It's so obvious. It's so clear to see. Yet, like, so many people are so blind to it.
And you've
that's
got
the
Arnold
frustrating
Schwarzenegger
thing.
now going, "Screw your freedom."
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
it's all right when you're part of the. It's okay when you're of wealth and you've got nothing to worry about. You know.
and like however many Humvees he's got to drive around his land, and big swimming pool and gym.
Because they do the same thing. These celebrities do the same thing. They push a message out for like the mainstream media for their own agenda. It's not whether they care about and it's their view, but because they know it's going to boost them and their figure, they also look like they're
that's
stepping into line.
That's a good point, and I'd like to say something about that because it's important. It's if you go back to the MMR vaccine, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. When did they drag out celebrities to coerce people into taking the parents into taking that vaccine? It never happened. Where was politicians? Where was all these famous people, sports stars? YouTube influencers and all these people.
I have never seen anything sold so much by so many.
And that's what people need to take on board. It's never happened before. Why would it happen with this vaccine, but it's never happened with any other vaccine ever?
It's very important because there's a very dangerous thing out there, and it's called the stupidity of people.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
sorry, go on, Mark. No, go on, Mark. Go on, mate.
I was just going to say it goes back to the whole control thing. People are so pliable. Back in the MMR, I mean, over here in New Zealand, in Auckland, they pushed. There was a measles outbreak, and what they did is they studied and they found out where the most people were vaccinated for measles, and it was in a district called Manukau. All right. Guess where the measles outbreak happened? Manukau. So that goes to show they had the most immunisation, and that's where the outbreak happened, because they'd all just been injected with it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's stupid.
And like I said earlier, right? I said earlier on my I think it was earlier on my live last night. Logic has gone out the window. Logic has totally gone out the window over all this. It's like you're in Wales now. I'm in Wales. You're in Wales now. We can go to a nightclub and not wear a mask. You can go to a nightclub with 100, 200 people and not wear a mask. If I go to the supermarket, by law, I got to wear a mask. If I go on public transport, by law, I got to wear a mask. It just doesn't make sense. It's
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and they're trying to give incentives.
Do you have to wear a mask in the queue?
In the queue of where? Sorry,
like at a bus stop or outside all these events. You have to wear a mask in. But the point is, people can congregate probably without a mask, close-ish. Sometimes, even if they're trying to social distance. That it's just pointless.
I just don't understand the logic. It's like, and a lot of people are just sucking it up.
There is no logic because everybody's missing the fundamentally illogical.
Yes,
it's fundamentally illogical. That's why there's no logic to it. You can call this bullshit out for what it is. Time after
100%.
time after time. I mean, going back to the beginning of this, after the first lockdown in New York and New Jersey, they were saying that people, based on the science, right?
Yeah.
The science that can't be questioned. In New York and New Jersey, you were allowed to congregate on the beach, but you weren't allowed to swim in the sea, right?
What the hell?
You think that's bad enough? Conversely, in California, you was allowed to swim in the sea, but you couldn't congregate on the beach.
COVID can't swim.
What sort of science is that? It's not science. It's bullshit.
Follow the science. If we followed the science, we wouldn't have locked down because it was too late.
Well, they use that, don't they? They use that to change, the rules and to push their agenda. It's a buzzword, The science have changed, so we follow the science. No, you're making shit up to control.
It's come now to a scientific dictatorship. That's what I was trying to say earlier with the whole scientists and experts thing, and that it has been, in politics and in the control of the world since Babylon. It has been the plan, hasn't it? Of the Gnostic Luciferians, and that is the reality of it. People don't want to hear it, but that is the reality of it. And whether or not people out there like believe in that shit, who are in that shit, right? Doesn't matter. It's being done. It's real. Whether the thing that they believe is real or not, there are people out there who are sinister motherfucking shitters, and we need to stop them being in control of our lives and our world that we give them. Unfortunately, we didn't give them, well, you know, we didn't try and give them the control, but they've always had it in the background. And that's not a conspiracy theory, that's history.
And this is the thing, it's the bullshit construct. They want you to behave by such and such and such a regulations, but none of these people abide by those regulations themselves. Neil Ferguson is a perfect example of completely breaking down or breaking the regulations that he told the government to impose in the first place by going around banging his fucking girlfriend who lived halfway across London during lockdown. You know, the other politician who drove 60 miles in his car, and his excuse for driving
Test his
60 miles
eyesight.
in his car was to test his eyesight. I'm sorry, I don't drink and drive to see if I'm okay to drive. You know? It's nonsense. It's bullshit. And the reason it's bullshit because they can get away with it when they want to, but we can't get away with it full stop. Here's another example for you. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, right? He shut down every winery in California with one exception. Which is the exception? His winery. His winery could stay open. Everybody else's winery had to close, right? Here's another example of this. The mayor of Austin, Texas, told everyone to stay in their house, social distancing, mask wearing, and all the rest of it. And what did he do? 2 days later, he flew to Mexico for a 7-day holiday. And when he came back and he got caught out, right, for going on this holiday to Mexico, he said it was a mistake, right? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can't remember the last time I mistakenly went on holiday.
Yeah,
I just suggest as you were backstage, I'm only allowed 6 on Master Ron. I know you're the John and Bobby Bromley, who I've not heard of before, and Crinkle. You're still there, mate. You're trying to write things on an etch-a-sketch thing on a little notice board for me. I can't see what you're writing.
Yeah, oh, there you go,
with his
Crinkle.
crayons.
There you go, Crinkle.
Is he there with his crayons?
Dino,
again.
Yeah,
Dino,
draw
thanks.
that, Crinkle.
Thanks for having me on there, Dino. I'll jump off and I'll carry on listening. I'm just in the background, but I appreciate you having me on. I'll let somebody else jump on, buddy. Thanks for that.
Oh, it's a pleasure,
JB Wales, thanks for coming on, mate. You talk
Guys,
about
can I ask a question? Can I
all
ask
the
a
best,
question? Do you think, guys, that these lockdowns, there'll be more to come? And do you think that the lockdowns will be used now for other agendas, not just COVID-19? Because I see going back a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I see an article in the Daily Telegraph, and scientists, part of this global warming movement, were trying to say that they think that lockdown should stay because they're good for the environment.
Yeah, that's the next thing
and they're
that's
trying
coming,
to push
isn't it?
this.
Yeah, it's going to help climate change, isn't it?
I think what's going to happen is the fact is we've got to remember a fundamental thing here, and the fundamental thing we've got to remember is Neil Ferguson tried to do this with CJVD, with mad cow disease, with Zika, with Ebola, bird flu, swine flu, and all the rest of it. They've been trying and trying and trying to do this. You know, it's all about control. It's all about coercion. You know, and this time they've managed to pull the trigger because they've finally got all their ducks in a row. All their politicians are in a row. All their public health officials are in a row. Everyone's tied into the financial system to a certain degree that if they don't toe the line, they get booted out. It's as simple as that, you know. And the problem with that is you've got a bunch of people who don't care about public health. They don't care about freedom of speech and freedom of expression and people's rights. They don't care about any of that.
Freedom.
You end up with a bunch of leftist, fucking Marxist people that are just going to go whatever the agenda is the agenda we're going to go with, and that's
Selfish.
what the problem is, you know. And where the situation we're in, because they finally pulled the trigger on COVID-19, and what they're relying on is the mass amount of people around the world that just believe whatever the government says. And therein lies our problem. It's not our problem, it's their problem, because they don't realize they're being duped, you know. And it's
You're right.
it's so blatantly obvious. If you do even the cursory amount of research like I did today, and I spoke to Dino about earlier, I'd love to share that with the audience if I can, Dino, when you feel it's appropriate. But and it needs to be said, it needs to be done, it needs to be exposed, because that's the whole problem. If we don't expose these people, then no, people aren't going to understand it and understand the
We're done.
implications of it. And,
If it doesn't get exposed, we're done.
Yeah, exactly. If we don't expose
It's going to be another call, and history is going to be reset. The new big reset. You know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It comes down to, like I said. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know people that woke up years before me. You know, I've got a friend of mine that, you know, tried to drill this shit into me 5 years before I woke up, and I kept dismissing him, going, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist," and all this sort of stuff. You know, and then I realised, you know, in 2010 that he was absolutely right. Everything he said was absolutely right. I dismissed him because he was very much into the whole UFO thing, and I didn't really give a shit about UFOs, you know.
Well, that's coming next, isn't it? You've seen it in the news, you know.
And it wasn't that woke me up. What woke me up was eventually somebody sent me a link to The Creature from Jekyll Island, the documentary, and then I realised that I was looking at the whole system the wrong way. I was looking at from the bottom upwards, when really what I should have been doing is looking at the top downwards. Because once you realise that the monetary system within itself is completely fake and corrupt, then everything below that system, including politicians, left or right, and business and companies and financial organisations and, you know, all the rest of it, are inherently corrupt. And that keeps going down and down and down. And then I did a video some years ago, I think it was about 3 years ago, about the private prison system. And the private prison system, the first ever private prison system in the UK, was signed off by Theresa May, who was then Prime Minister of the UK. And she signed it off to a company called G4S, right? G4S were given the first contract for a private prison in the United Kingdom. And her husband was on the board of directors of G4S, right? Now, if that's not bad enough, what you end up with is a bunch of SIA licensed prison guards who aren't prison guards. They're not prison officers that are trained as prison officers.
Glorified doorman.
Stupid idiots that can get an SIA license. And be honest with you, the local hedgehog in my backyard can get an SIA license, right? And they're put in charge. Then what do? They lock people up for 23 hours a day. And where's the rehabilitation? There is none. And the reason there's no rehabilitation for these prisoners is because if you've got a private company, you want repeat offenders. You want repeat customers. Any company, whether you're a hairdressing salon, a barbershop, a pub, or a restaurant, you want repeat customers. And if you have a private prison system, you need repeat customers, because that's how you generate profit.
Yeah, if you get them to repeat while in prison, defending themselves against you for, you know,
again, they don't
they're there for longer.
Guard, then it's self-sustaining job, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
So I mean, at what point, at which point do people not realise that something, even if they don't wake up, as the saying goes, you know, it's like, at which point do not people go, hang on a minute,
I don't like that whole wake. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Open your eyes is something I say to people now. Open your eyes and use them.
And this is the thing. It's like, how much can you push it? How many times can you? And I've had this with my own family. Don't get me wrong. It's not something that I only address on YouTube or only address on the internet, because it's not. I've had to try and address this with my own family because it's so hard to get people to kind of
I
open
have
their
not got
eyes.
through to one member of my family through all the 20 years, nearly 20 years of my like questioning everything with some kind of information that I've researched in whatever way.
See, I've been quite lucky and have both my parents
I'm happy.
had the first jab, but they haven't had the second.
Okay.
So yeah, I was kind of like, look, really think about it. I give them a little bit of information. Was like, look at this before making a decision. I don't live around near them anymore, but I went down there last weekend and I brought it up and I was like, have you had your second jab yet? And she was like, no, I've decided I ain't getting it. So I feel like, yeah, maybe I finally got through to her.
Well, all I can say is you can't let it go because the pressure just keeps on coming, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Can I just come in? Sorry about that. John, I know you've been backstage for a bit. I've just had a phone call and it's not good. I can't give any details. So what I'm going to have to do is end it. I'll give it 5 minutes. That's all I can give it, guys. Something bad's happened, and I've got to deal with it.
Well,
get yourself off there, mate. Get yourself off. If you need to get yourself off, Dino, get yourself off, mate.
Yeah, I'm really, really sorry. Normally this would go on for a while. I was going to cap it at 1 anyway, but I'm going to have to do it right now.
It's all good, mate. Best of luck.
All right, Dino, crack on, mate. You got to do what you got to do, mate.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Fluke. And honestly, guys, massive respect, Mark. Honestly, mate, keep coming on.
If you want, guys, you're more than welcome to come over to my channel. I start a live and carry on. It's up to you.
What is your channel?
It's Bear Britain Audits.
Oh yeah, I've got you.
Everyone who's been on, thank you so much. Thanks for all of your support and everything like that. Fluke, thank you,
If I
mate.
can help, give me a call, yeah?
Oh, listen, I'll see you next Friday. There'll be, don't forget Pegasus Audits Saturday night if you're still doing a live on mental health and things like that, important topic. We've got Plod on Sunday night, Plodology Wednesday night, and then Friday again. So, guys, thanks so much. I've got to go.
No worries, bro.
All the
best.
best.
See you in a bit.
Thank you.
You take care there, Dino. Catch you later, mate.
See you,
Thank
Mr.
you
Long.
very much, guys.
See you, Fluke.
Thank you.